Power Pig, hello. We're back.
Power Pig, hello. Go to bed, you little fetus. How old are you? I'm 12. Call me in 6 years. Call me when you got some pubes. What's your name? Lisa. Lisa, do you go to middle school? Yes. Is your mom and dad still together? No. Good. How would you like to ride in a Love Sponge limousine tomorrow to school while I'm your mom tomorrow night? That's some Power Pig stuff right there.
Man, miss those days.
Oh my God. I came in after the Power Pig days. I came in.
You came in the 98 rock
I came
days.
in the Bone days. The Bone. Yeah.
Oh, the Bone. You weren't even a 98 rocker?
No, it would have been 2006 or 7.
Yeah, that would have been the Bone.
Yeah.
We were even crazier on 98
I was in the
rock.
back of a painting truck, Munyon painting truck, driving to work every morning at 5 to 6 a.m. on the back of a paint truck, listening to Bubba every single morning.
And now look at you, you're a superstar. You got more listeners than I do. Jacked up on the gas, getting ready to get a new studio. I mean, just look at you. Drinking cranium drinks and nicotine patches and
pouches galore.
God, I think you bought the whole building from I think you bought this whole building from the AC people, didn't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. We're moving out of here, bro. We got a new place up in Scientology land.
I know. When you guys start that?
Man, you gotta come there.
We've been doing construction since March, and we're moving. We're trying to move in next month.
Really?
Yeah, we just got to finish up the little studio.
What's going to be the difference? Is it going to be kind of like a Pat McAfee, like kind of a,
Let me see.
Like kind of
a
where you can produce all kinds of content.
We got a gym, a full gym in there. We got the golf simulator going in. We got a full man cave theater with a bar, like a movie theater.
Have you ever seen Tim Pool's setup? Have you ever seen Tim Pool's setup?
Badass.
I did Tim Pool's podcast.
Did you?
6 months ago.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, in the middle of West Virginia.
Yeah.
And a big compound, and you should see his. He's got like, you got a half pike,
videos.
He's got like a 10 pike. I don't know what the hell
he's got a full skate park in there.
Full blown.
Yeah.
Full blown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if him and I. See, you and I can jive a little bit, but I was really nervous there.
Really?
Well, because it was very political, and I'm not that political, and
right.
I think my buddy Alex Stein got me booked on there, and they had me on. Listen, great dude, big audience, smart
guy.
You know what I think? Because I think he's so fucking smart that he like I felt stupid. I mean, he's so fucking so smart.
Yeah, he's a super smart political genius. He's really into the political stuff.
Yeah,
sure.
and this motherfucker does like 6 shows a day.
Does he really?
He does like Tim Pool IRL, then Tim Pool Uncensored.
Oh yeah, he's got all those different shows.
Then he's got, so when you pull into his compound, he's got this one house that's on the outside of the compound, and it's got 2 studios in it for 2 different shows. Mm-hmm. And then he's got this big warehouse where the full pike and the skateboard deals. And
the craziest thing to me about Tim Pool is like I've always seen his interviews, like his Rogan interviews and his obviously his podcast, which is incredible. But the first time I ever saw him, like not, usually when you're used to seeing people talking on talk shows, you only see him from like here up, and you're used to that. Right. And when you see him from head to toe, it kind of like throws you off.
Yeah, and he always keeps the same. He's got that same cap with that same gimmick on.
I saw a video of him on Instagram like a year or so ago of skateboarding, and he rips on a skateboard.
Oh, dude, he rips like you wouldn't believe. They were just over there when I was there. They were just kind of like maybe screwing around a little bit, and he was going down these rails. And,
it's crazy.
And then here's my fat ass who, if I got on a skateboard, I'd break it. And I'm like, look at all these skinny guys over here half piking and stuff. I am so out of my element. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, where's the buffet?
Yeah, dude. He's
a good dude though, man. Good
level.
dude. I've not done a lot of podcasts.
I know you haven't.
Just you, Tim Pool, and I don't think I've done anybody else really.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple little ones. Like I think I did something.
Well, the funny thing is you had the king of podcasts on your radio show years ago,
Joe Rogan,
which is incredible.
Oh, what a good!
It was
dude.
such a good interview too. He's talking about like doing DMT,
licking frogs,
and he's like, what did he say? He described himself as the conduit between the stoners and the juice heads or something like that.
Oh yeah, and I didn't even really I knew of Joe from was it Survivor or no Fear Factor,
Yeah.
and then I knew a stand up. This is in 2008. Little did I know that he would come on to be one the largest in the space.
Did you ever think that even when you had him on?
He told me. So when we were done, and at that time I was doing 2 shows a day. I was doing Mornings on the Bone, which was syndicated on like 19 or 20 stations terrestrially, and then we would take a 4-hour break, and then we would do afternoons on Sirius XM. So as I'm walking Joe out, Joe's like, "Hey man, what you should do is after this show, this uncensored Sirius XM show, you should sit down for like 45 minutes, you and the boys, and just bullshit about anything. Anything that you didn't get to on this show, just bullshit and put it up as a podcast. Make it a little kind of exclusive for people to get, but make it different from what you're doing." And I was like, "Joe, man, I'm so tired now. And, I got a family and everything. I don't even know anything about this podcasting or whatever." He's like, just think about it. Man, was I stupid for not listening? I should have jumped right on it. But what a brilliant mind, and what a great career. And
the crazy thing about him to me is that he's like, not only is he at the top not just podcasting. I mean, he's at the top of media. He gets more downloads and views than all media combined. But he also is the number one. Like, he does, out of all the podcasts, I think he puts out more than any other podcaster. He literally records 4 or 5 days a week.
Well, he's pop culture now. Meaning, like, if you want your message delivered, or you want to know what's going on in the world, or want to be able to think outside the media box, the standard, then you go to Joe. And everybody, I mean, the numbers are astronomical, and he has become. I worked for Howard. I don't ever speak illy of Howard, but he is the king of media. I mean, Joe Rogan is the new. I don't know if he's the new. I think it's been that way for a while. But he also is just an absolute rock star on UFC. I mean, he doesn't really need that but he just absolutely loves it. And I mean, he sells out, arenas for his comedy.
Yep.
So, and he made the best decision of all, was getting the fuck out of California and going to Texas. So God bless him, man. What a good dude.
Yeah, man. He is absolutely on fire. But like, for you, what has it been like? Because you were the equivalent of, I mean, you weren't like Howard Stern level, but you were like top.
Actually, during when we were at, I know that you've watched the documentary,
yes.
And there was a time where my call volume was larger than Howard's when I worked with him. Really? Now, at that time, they didn't have a way to gauge. They didn't have Nielsen or Arbitron or anything, and they still don't. But they didn't have a way. The only way they would gauge how good a show was doing was how many attempted callers. Now, I don't know if that's the right way to gauge or not, but at one time, I had more people attempting to call my show than Howard. Now, you can attribute that a little bit to maybe mornings versus afternoons. People in afternoon might be more likely to call than in the morning when they're first waking up. But, one of the reasons why Sirius XM got rid of me is because I posed a threat to Howard.
Oh, really?
And if you watch the documentary, my agent says, why would Howard want me on his channel for pennies on the dollar? Because Howard's manager, Don Buchwald, who's now dead, told Tim Sabian, who was the president of Howard's channels, when they were getting rid of me, they're like, "Listen, management at Sirius XM is going to use Bubba against us in negotiation. Why do we have to pay Howard $100 million when we can pay Bubba $5 million and get nearly the same audience?" So that's why I got offed from Sirius XM. Wow. That's, a lot of people don't know that, and I've not told that story anywhere. But I have validation through the guy Tim Sabian, who ran the channels, who was the program director of Howard 100 and 101, and was part of getting me fired, and that was one of the reasons why they fired me.
That's such a crazy thing, how that media landscape, the just like the talk media landscape has shifted so much, because that sounds like such a petty way of doing business, like such a weird sort of.
But you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars now. So you're talking about like they're paying me $1.5 million,
Yeah.
and they're paying Howard $100 million. So I mean, there's a lot at stake there. So Howard's agent needs to protect that $100 million,
Right.
and he's got a guy in here, some white trash motherfucker from Florida that's doing it for $1.5 million,
Right.
and he's afraid management's going to come to him and say, "Listen, Buckwald, we got numbnuts Bubba doing it for $1.5 million. Why do we want to pay Howard $100 million?"
Right. I guess
And
that's
so it's the numbers are, the reason why it's so cutthroat is because the numbers are astronomical as far as what Howard was making.
right. And that all of the viewers are on this one specific platform during this one specific time. And it's a subscription thing. It's not, it's the complete opposite of YouTube, basically.
And it's not nearly as sexy now as it was then.
Right.
In 07, 08, Sirius XM was about the sexiest person on the dashboard, as far as dashboard real estate. I mean, it wasn't as easy to pipe your Google Play or, your Apple iTunes through your dashboard as it is now. I mean, every car now is you Bluetooth in and there you are.
Right.
I can listen to you guys. I can listen to Rogan. I can listen to Adam Carolla. I can listen to anybody. I don't have to listen. I don't have to be hooked up to a signal per se. I just have to have cell service.
Exactly.
And so now what Sirius XM was in 07, 08, super sexy on the dashboard, has now become right here. You got to deliver your content to this device in order to be relevant.
Right.
I mean, whether it's YouTube, whether it's podcasting, most of it's aggregated through a cell phone.
And when you have to publish all of your stuff on social media, and your show has to live on social media and be in competition with millions of other shows that are doing the same exact thing.
And there's so much shit out there.
Crazier.
I'm looking for remember back in the 90s where they had the .com bubble burst? So they had the .com craze, and everybody had a .com. They had wipeMyAss.com. I mean, they had every .com you can think of, and these .coms were making lots of money. Well, then it burst. Then the .com bubble burst, and only the good punched through. Only the relevant stuff on the .com world punched through. I don't know if I'll be around, but I think that's going to happen with podcasting. I think podcasting is becoming so watered down.
It is.
And so much shit out there that I think eventually all these people that are producing shit are going to quit, because they don't realize that making money in podcasting is not as easy as just two people bullshitting. Right. It's a slow burn. It's the right guest. It's the right host. It's the right, it's aggregating through the right channels. It's the right algorithm. It's the right hashtag. It's the right everything. And the average person who gets fired from radio or whatever thinks that they can just start, or anybody that has $100 can go rent a podcast studio, and they think instantaneously they're going to have a huge audience. And so podcasting, I still think needs the kind of cleanse the shit moment, because there's just so much shit out there.
Yes.
But it does also, when you are good and you have a following, it makes it that much more special when you do have the numbers to back up a good podcast.
Right. And the other way that's so much different than radio is that, like, it's not like if I get 1 million views and there's another guy who has a podcast next door to me who gets 1 million views. Like, it's not like, hey man, I want to come promote you or talk about your show. It's not like I have to give up any of my listeners for you to get more listeners. Right.
Podcasting's more gentlemanly than terrestrial cutthroat radio.
Exactly.
So it's like,
it's not like,
It's more like gentlemanly. It's more like the way it used to be back in the old times when you tried to help out your neighbor. Rather than to, being at war with your neighbor.
Right.
You want to help your guy if you think he's cool, or, because you've established your crowd and they're going to come. They're not leaving your brand, but if you can help a buddy out who's cool and can bring something to the table, podcasting tends to be more like that than any other form of media. Like terrestrial radio, it's all about cutthroat, man. If I'm losing, if my listener's not listening
there's
to
only
me,
X amount of listeners and you're not sharing them.
There's only 17, 18, 19 radio stations, and I got to have that guy on my channel, or I'm.
Yeah.
Whereas podcasting seems to be the buddy system a little bit, a little bit. Now there's people that have huge numbers that aren't going to help the guy that's got 314 followers. But
you have the standout people like Joe Rogan, who's like the #1 in the world, who has nobodies on his show.
Right.
Literally nobody's. Just because he wants to help them and because he thinks that they have some sort of
and they're interesting.
Right.
I think that's what Joe really cares the most about. I don't think Joe looks at numbers as much as he looks at the message. Because he'll get into some deep shit and it's really interesting. And the guy is not really even, promoting his channel or promoting what he's got going. He's just very interesting. And I think Joe's probably one of the best at sniffing through what's good and what's not.
Right. Hey guys, if you're not already subscribed, please hammer the subscribe button below and hit the like button on the video. Back to the show. So about, I don't know, was it 3 months ago? Shane sent me the video, the first video I think you ever published about Hogan being sick or being in the hospital.
I was the first and only guy to go out on a limb and say that he was going to die June 18th.
June 18th. I remember
that right to Danny.
He sent it to me the day you posted it. And I'm like, Bubba is losing his shit. I'm like, Bubba's just doing anything he can to get views now.
Like,
everybody thought I was
he's just trying to get some traction.
I heard it all. Clout chaser, clickbaiter, irrelevant, desperate, the whole 9 yards. They don't realize that I had some very good in-sources. Now, I've befriended Brooke recently, but Brooke wasn't my resource. I had people within the hospital. Do
down a little
bit. Do you know when you're on to something and a lot of times then you kind of have the Johnny come lately effect. So if you're on to something and you're first on a particular topic, then a lot of times that will lead to other people jumping on and giving you intel as well.
Yes.
So I actually even had the valet guy at Morton Plant that was calling me and letting me know the comings and goings as to who's going where.
Plant, Clearwater?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's where Hogan was. His last stint was at Morton Plant. Prior to that, he was at Tampa General. But
so how did this start?
It started with a email to the show on my show, and it just said, "Hey, I work at Tampa General. Please do not say my name, but Hulk Hogan, your friend, is not doing well." And that's all it was. And at that point, the guy, I should have probably said the person. So I mean, at this point, Hogan's dead. But the guy gave me his information to call him. So I did my show the next day. This is like June 16th. I did my show the next day and I called the dude. He's like, "Listen, Hogan is
on air."
No, off air.
Oh, okay.
Completely off air.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't go on air till June 18th. That was the first day. And so I call this dude up. I try to vet him. Where do you work? What do you do at Tampa General? Like, why would you be privy to this? I was more skeptical than anything. I just wasn't there. I just wasn't there. Just tell me some information for me to go to air with because
that's dangerous, right?
Yeah, I mean,
false info out there.
Hogan's trust me, I know Hogan's litigious and his family's litigious.
Right.
As I'm, going through a federal gag order right now with the deal, and so I knew I just couldn't come out. The information the guy's giving me is like blowing my mind. He's like, "You don't understand. They're calling family members, telling them to get their ass to the hospital because you may not see Hogan again." I mean, he is on all these machines and he's having problems with complications from heart valves and the guy's all over the place. So I sat on it for a day. This was like I came out on the 18th. So this would have been like maybe like the 15th or 16th. And I sat on it on a day. I sat on it and I tried to get another source to verify and I couldn't. And so I start looking at Hogan's friends and what they're saying, and Jimmy Hart's like saying, "Oh, Hogan's great," and this kind of stuff. I had one of my producers called Hogan's his restaurant, Hogan's Hangout, whatever the hell it's called, and asked if he was going to be at that karaoke that Monday night. And they're like, no, he's not going to be here. He's, out of town or something. Well, I knew he wasn't out of town. I knew he was in the hospital. I did know that. So I just kind of took a leap of faith with what the guy told me. And I got on the air, and I think the actual verbiage was, if you do some sniffing around at a local hospital here, and I tried to use everything in radio that I've been taught for 40 years on how to cover your ass, in my opinion.
And cover your sources.
And cover my sources. So I said, if you do some sniffing around in a local hospital, it's my opinion. I don't know it to be true, but it's my opinion. And I think, and I've been told, and again, I don't know it to be true, that Hogan's in a hospital here locally in Tampa, and he's not doing well. And I think family has been called to come in and say their goodbyes. So with that, I got more and more brazen, and I continued to get more and more information from this one particular source. But then I got another source, and my other source is like, hey, I heard you saying this about Hogan, and here's what I know, because, I'm close to the source as well. And it just kind of bred itself. So I got more and more brazen. So where I was like, in broadcasting, if you say something wrong, malicious, slanderous, liable about somebody, the first thing that goes down is you get a 770 notice. And so, like, if I said something about Danny Jones and it was just completely, untrue, like Danny Jones is natural.
On the roids.
Danny Jones is on only Fred Flintstone vitamins, and that's it. Well, that's a fucking blatant lie.
I'm suing.
Exactly. No, but if I said something like really bad, like, Danny Jones is a kid toucher. I mean, I'm talking about something really bad, like really.
I went to the island.
Right, you're hanging out with Epstein, So, but if I said something completely just 100% false, defamatory, slanderous, liable, then your attorney would be sending me a 7-7 notice, which means what I said was untrue, and you're putting me on notice to retract that. And it's or I'm going to be, I have one shot.
Cease and desist.
It's worse. It's more than that, because
you got to backtrack.
Not only do I have to stop, but I have to retract what I said and correct what I said.
I see.
So that's what a 770 notice is. That's just from being in the business so long. So I knew at that point, I get on the air and I'm like, listen, Hogan's people out there, if Hogan isn't in a hospital bed and he's doing okay and he's not gravely sick, then send me a 770. Shut me up. Make me be quiet. Because what I'm hearing is he's not doing well at all. And here's this and this and this and this. And every day I would say, send me a 770. If I'm wrong,
right.
A lawyer can't send you a 770 if you're not wrong. If you're not wrong, they can't make you shut up. They can't say you're being slanderous or liable or anything like that. They just got to take it. And they get real mad that they got a leak within their little world. And so I just kept going on, and then I got intel that they transported him in the middle of the night. He was at Morton Plant. From at that point, they transferred him in the middle of the night over the weekend.
How long was he at Morton Plant for?
I don't know. I think about a week.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how long he was at Morton Plant, but I do know when they transported him, they took him home like on a Friday via ambulance, and he was doing well through the weekend. Eric Bischoff saw him on Monday. Jimmy Hart saw him on Wednesday, and he died on Thursday. And, I had reports that he was home resting. They didn't send any machines home with him. They just sent a hospital bed home with him so he could be more comfortable. So at that point, I think the hospital assumed one or two things. Either one, he's too far gone and we can't help him. And I'm only assuming this. I don't know it to be true. But two, he's getting better. And he might maybe pull through this because they didn't have any ventilation. They didn't have a breathing machine. They didn't have him trached. They didn't have him on any extravagant machines. He just had this little, like he had a respiratory therapist come in once a day and do respiratory exercises with him, and that's all he had. And
so he was like fully conscious and awake and
100%.
Wow.
You know, eating. You know, and then Wednesday night he went to bed. He was sleeping in a recliner. And he was sleeping in a recliner in the living room. That's where he was most comfortable. And you know, Sky, his wife, found him dead in the morning. I think there was a respiratory therapist and another male nurse there reporting for their duty that morning. And I think when they got there at 9:11 or whatever time, they had found Terry dead, and he was supposedly dead, like.
in his sleep it happened.
Like when they gave him 2 shots of Narcan in case there was an opiate overdose. I speculated on the air that he had taken too many pain pills and that he, you know, I mean, we've lost 38 wrestlers in the last, 10 years over people, opioids and alcohol.
Overdoses and stuff like that.
So I thought maybe that was, and I was on the air heavy with that. But then, Brooke came down to Clearwater and met with the medical examiners, and later, pretty much was satisfied with their investigation. So that's when I kind of laid off. I thought maybe
she was satisfied with it.
Brooke was, yeah. So at that point, I kind of laid off and just let him rest in peace. And knowing my documentary's coming out, and and like everybody's like, "Oh, you timed your documentary to coincide with Hogan's death." I've been trying to get this documentary out since the last time what was that, 2 years ago when I saw you?
Yeah, you were talking about it 2 years ago.
We were talking about it 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I had the wrong filmmaker at the time. Mm-hmm. I had a guy I had a group of people that were putting it together. It's not my documentary; it's theirs. I don't have any ownership in it at all. And so I just felt 2 years ago we weren't. They just didn't have the glue to tell the story, and we got a local guy who has had some stuff published on Netflix, and he named Ian Longen, and he was kind of the difference maker. He really, really knew the story, and he was the glue to kind of put this very convoluted story and very long and kind of hard to understand story together. And we premiered last Friday, and we're dropping today on Amazon, Google Play, and then of course Apple TV.
It's a great documentary. It's a long one too. Freaking almost 3 hours.
No, 229.
229.
229. I wish I watched it, at the premiere, and I think we could have cut out 15 or 20 minutes. I think we could have. I think we were redundant and maybe repetitive on some things. But it's such a long story. Initially, we wanted to do 3 episodes of like 48 minutes. And then when we started submitting it to the aggregators, the documentary game is such a dirty game. It's not just you make a doc and send it, and you have to get it. You have to send it to to copyright and fair use attorneys. You got to get insurance on it. Then you have to get an aggregator that's going to publish it to these different platforms. And so it's a pretty quite a long process. So when we were giving it to the aggregators, they're like, "Listen, you're not gonna be able to have a trailer for 3 episodes. The only way you can have a trailer is if you would combine them." And we're like, "Oh, it's going to make for a pretty long, deal." So that's why it ended up being.
Why wouldn't you be able to make a trailer for the whole series?
I don't know. Maybe you have to be a bigger slinging dick than me in order to get a trailer for a 3-part series. But they wouldn't give us a trailer. And I'm like, "Listen, the trailer is everything. You've got to. I mean, I determine whether I'm going to watch something based on the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, right? That or the thumbnail. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, even when I'm looking at porn, I look at the thumbnail, and if it's,
that looks
if it's,
good.
If it's granny, no, and if it's some hot MILF, yes. I mean, it's thumbnail and trailers was what determined everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. So going back to the Hogan things, what was the actual catalyst that sent him in there in the first place?
Well, he had a heart valve replacement, and he didn't have problems with that. But he had a neck and cervical operation, and that requires them to put a plate in the back of your neck with 8 screws that go into this plate that stabilizes the back of your neck. And he was supposed to be bedridden 4 to 6 weeks. So after you have this cervical neck fusion, you're supposed to be in what they call a vagus brace, and that's just this basically, those foam rubber kind of gimmicks. You're supposed to be in one of those for 2 months, and you're supposed to be taking it easy. And Hogan goes and gets this surgery. There's 8 screws in the back of his neck. They have bone cement and everything in there, and it's a very fragile equation. And what does he do? He's being pushed by his beer company. He's being pushed by his new wrestling federation. And instead of spending 4 to 6 weeks bed rest, he spends 46 hours at home and is already out in Milwaukee and Green Bay and Michigan doing these 3 and 4 hour personal appearances for his beer. And he starts his neck operation doesn't really have an opportunity to fuse and to heal itself because, you're sleeping in hotel bedrooms and you're standing up for Hogan's. One big thing is when he would do an autograph session, he would never sit. He always prided himself on standing because it made him bigger than life. Mm-hmm. He's, so it makes you bigger than life rather than just sitting. Mm-hmm. So that was his gimmick. And so he's standing for 3 and 4 hours at a time. And Terry had a huge head. His head probably weighed 40 pounds.
He had a big ass head. Big head, big star.
Yeah. And so had he listened to his doctors and not been on the road, 46 hours after a major operation, he probably would have been in better situation. So
I wonder why he needed that operation in the first place. It's not like he was very active.
And his family, I've been told by pretty good sources that his family actually argued with him and said, Terry, just live with the pain, because they knew the complication rate of this particular aggressive procedure. They knew. And
he had already had a ton of neck surgeries.
Oh,
right?
he had a ton of back.
No neck?
Never really with his neck much. So, but his neck.
And they go through the front?
Yeah, they go through the front.
Yeah, and he had neck surgery.
He had numbness in his hands.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And
I remember he would tell me all the time, he's like, I can't even feel my fingers.
Right. And so most of his family, from Nick to Brooke to Sky, they were telling him, Terry, just live. You've lived, you're 71 years old. You've lived with having numbness in your fingers. Don't get this neck surgery. Don't get it.
Yeah.
We've talked to the doctors. It's very risky, and you're not going to sit still the way you're supposed to. So don't do it. So he instantaneously now gets off the road, and he has complications with this procedure because he didn't do what they told him to. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the downward spiral.
And how was that connected with the valve replacement?
I don't know that it was.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that it was. They had to go back in and do a revision on the neck surgery. And you have to understand, now you're under again. And anytime you go in under anesthesia, they make you sign those forms that you could die. If you just go in for a, colonoscopy, and if they put you under, they're going to make you sign a form because you're at risk of dying.
You used to be the guy that had to go in with him during his surgeries.
I actually, when we were really rolling hard, one of the procedures I went into was in Buffalo. Dr. Rapishi did a half knee on him, and Hogan was so worried about, because he was such a star, and he was so worried about
taking pictures of his dick when he's
people
asleep.
Taking pictures of his dick that I would imagine? And so I would scrub in. And so you got to understand, in order for a hospital or a doctor to even allow this is mind-boggling, because most hospitals and doctors, you're going to say, hey, I'm going to bring my buddy in with me. They're like, no, motherfucker. No, you're not. But he was Hulk Hogan. People made exceptions for him. So I would scrub in and have to do the 5-minute nail scrub. Meanwhile, I'm just in the corner making sure they're not taking pictures of his dick. I'm not touching the body. I'm not. I'm from here to the door from him, but I'm just making sure that I did that 3 different times. But I don't know that the neck surgery necessarily caused his death. They say he died of a heart attack with the complications of the heart valve. it also was disclosed that he had leukemia.
Oh yeah, that
at the
was
time,
out of left field.
which is blood cancer. And Brooke, I've talked to Brooke extensively, and that was news to her, and news to everybody. Nobody knew that he was dealing with that, and people don't even know that he knew it at the time.
I mean, it was certainly obvious that he didn't look well in the last few
when he did that
months
Fox
of his life.
and Friends, he looked really gaunt,
frail.
Yeah, and he he did. And now see, at the RNC though, he looked pretty good.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the RNC to where we ended up, he just had a downward spiral. And I think that's where at the RNC, I don't know if he had his neck hardware done at that time or not, but it seems like the neck hardware complication is what spiraled him down to looking like the way he did on Fox and Friends. Okay. And the other thing is, I think they were working him, literally the expression working him to death. I think they were working him to death. I mean, he was working. He was.
Don't you have enough money though? Like, why? You're how old was he? 80?
He's 71. Because listen, I hate to talk bad about my former friend, but because he's one of the biggest narcissists that you'll ever meet in your entire life. He always had to be on the go. He always had to be the center of attention. There was his family and other good people telling him, Terry, you've won 60-some million dollars from this sex tape.
Right.
You got $25 million in properties. You got every Plymouth and Mopar and collector car you could ever want. You got 3 memorabilia shops. You got a restaurant and a bar. You got everything you could ever want. More money than you could spend.
So much.
Sleep in, go to the gym, jack your dick. I don't give a
Right.
But
take care of your body, bro.
You don't need to be in Sheboygan, Wisconsin at 4:30 meeting 300 cheeseheads so that they'll buy 10 cases of beer.
Right. For real.
Like, stop.
I mean, that beer was already in Publix. Like, what more do you need to do, bro?
He had great distribution with his beer.
I've never actually had it. I would like to try it.
I haven't had. I heard it's kind of a little thicker Miller Lite is what I heard, but I heard it was pretty good. I don't know what this. I know that right after he died, there was a run on people trying to get it. I don't know if they've restocked. That's a story in itself. He originally had a deal with Anheuser-Busch, and which is owned by what they think InBev now, owned by like a Danish company, and he had a deal with one of the original Bushes. The Bush family still has a lot to do with it, and he had a deal to do a beer, a Hogan type beer with one of the Bushes, and two of the story I've been told, 2 of the highest ranking people underneath the Bush guy stole Terry away with a better deal, quit Anheuser-Busch, and started the Terry beer, the Hogan beer. Yeah, that's what I was told. Wow. And I think if you research it, you'll find that.
Such a crazy world. And he was just like constantly, since I met him, which would have been, I mean, since I started working with him, which would have been, I don't remember what year that would have been. It was during the Hostomania stuff when he was doing the hosting company thing. Right. Shooting all those commercials. It was just like,
how did that do? Did that do anything?
I think it ended up dying.
Right.
Or I don't know why they stopped doing it, but I think the whole web hosting like industry consolidated, and it just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't financially viable anymore, so they just kind of
That's not a sexy space anyway. Either.
No, it's not hosting.
Like, Hogan needs to be in.
But we went to a bunch of like Vegas. Even with Flair, I went to a bunch of I all these like crazy like little web conventions out in Las Vegas we went to, and he would sit there all day signing autographs for people I think that just general industry kind of like
Hogan needs to be in a public space, and hosting is not a public space. Mm-hmm. You got stream guys now, and you got some major players. AWS. You got
no one cares about websites.
Nobody
anymore.
gives a about who's hosting your website.
Exactly. No one gives a shit.
You go ask 90% of the GoDaddy. That's what the fuck they're GoDaddy. They're the Walmart of hosting. And I don't even know that they host. They'll just build it for you and get your domain. But like Hogan needs to be in sexy Hogan needs to be in a space that a white trash dude from Indiana is going to be in. Like my shirt says, the finest strain of Indiana white trash. So
beautiful.
But that's his P1, meaning his number one target audience is probably a 55-year-old male. That's so if a 55-year-old white male likes whatever product you have, then maybe Terry was good for your product.
Right.
Other than that, Terry doesn't need to be in the hosting business.
Well, I heard that his biggest regret as far as like promoting products go was the grill, because George Foreman got it, right?
I was there for that.
Oh, were you?
Oh, yeah. He was taking his kids to St. Cecilia school, and this guy who brokers products calls him and says, "Listen, I need an answer now. I got a blender and I got a grill." And Hogan goes, like, "What do you mean? Like, what kind of grill?" "It's this grill where it's slanted and you put your hamburger or your chicken on it, and it slides, the grease slides down into this tray." And Hogan goes, "Give me the blender. I do protein shakes and shit like that. So the blender, give me the blender." So they did the Hulk Hogan blender, which was this fucking piece of shit blender that
Pull up the Hulk Hogan blender.
And then they actually, it was his choice before they went to George Foreman. George Foreman got the grill by default.
He got second
by default
because Hogan picked the fucking blender.
Oh,
and Hogan he's told the story.
I've heard him tell it. Yeah,
he's told the story. If he just would have paid attention,
the thunder mixer.
Look, that's what the he got. And George,
Unreal.
I think George made what, $300 million? I mean, pull up what George Foreman's made on.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd like to
it's
see
something
that.
like just
It's more than he ever could have fathomed
Right.
in his life.
What year was that?
Oh God, that would have been like
90s, yeah.
96, 97 ish, But I saw him that day. This was in the morning. I saw him that day, and he's like, "Hey man, I got a new blender coming out." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, this dude, Danny McGillicuddy, who represents these products." Here we go.
George Foreman grill was used to cook
Millions
blah,
a
blah,
month.
blah, blah, blah. He didn't invent the grill. He was famous for it. He received 40% share of the profits, which at its peak meant he was earning millions of dollars a month, over $200 million in total.
200 million. So
Look
I
at
see.
him. He's so
see
psyched.
Hogan, and he goes, "I got a blizender coming out.
A blizender.
They wanted me to do some fucking stupid grill bullshit, but I got some blizender, so we'll be mixing up our shit really good." I'm like, we didn't even know what the grill was yet. I mean, we didn't even know if the grill was stupid or not. We just knew we had a blender coming, and this blender was cheap bullshit. It couldn't even get through an ice cube. Look at the three little whips
spinner
down there. Yeah, it was just completely bullshit.
Oh my God, bro! Look how small it is.
Yeah,
too.
it was teeny tiny.
What is it?
Can't even put 2 eggs in there.
Oh. So yeah, I was with him during that deal. And that's always been a rib that we've ribbed him for. Yeah, I mean it was bullshit.
Look, dude's blown away.
Yeah.
God.
Look at those 3 little wires down there. Hogan got the first one. They sent him like 10, right? And he used the first one. It wouldn't even whip up his fucking protein. Like it wouldn't even whip it up like efficiently.
Dude, I remember the grill too. I had one. When
I had
was a
one.
kid.
Yeah, everybody.
I would
had
cook
one.
everything on the grill.
Every single household had
I would
one.
cook corned beef hash on the fucking.
Yeah, we were
Everybody
cooking
had
burgers
one.
on it like it was a
And
miracle grill.
not only did we all have one, we've probably had multiple ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Because it's morphed into better things,
Yeah, they had like
made
a
it better.
2.0.
And it didn't just target people who were George Foreman fans. My fucking mom bought one.
George Foreman had nothing to do with the.
My mom was a freaking.
Yeah, my mom had one.
She
My
was
grandma
in
had
college
one.
for fine art. She was a fine artist,
Right,
and
she
she
didn't
had
know
a
the
George Foreman.
George Foreman
She had
was.
no clue who
But
George
she knew
Foreman
this fucking grill she could keep in her dorm
Oh,
room
yeah.
and whip her up a fucking whatever she wanted to.
Exactly,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It's just like these super celebrities just being, just proselytizing all of these products nonstop was just always such a weird thing to me,
Sales.
It's just like, and even now, there's a few guys, like Logan Paul's one of the guys. Now it's all meme coin. It's all Bitcoin. It's all crypto shit. Crypto scams. And now you got,
NFTs.
Logan Paul.
But hasn't the NFT, didn't that
NFTs are dead.
Didn't that hit the wall pretty much? I mean,
but they're still doing coins.
Remember for a while.
And now you got Trump and all his kids doing their own coins.
Remember for a while they were doing those metaverse and you could buy a
house in the metaverse.
And a nightclub and all this kind of bullshit. And it was going to be where people go and live their life
in the
digitally. Yeah. And I'm like, if my life is so bad in real life that I got to go live digitally, it's time to eat a bullet. I'm just telling you that right now. Listen, I'm a nobody here in Tampa, but motherfucker, I'm the king of
Meta World.
Meta World 10. I'm the fucking mayor of Mayor. I mean, like, what the fuck, you loser?
Yeah, but it might be cool, Bubba. I mean, what if you could go in there? You could be, you could be 6'6", jacked 20-inch dick, slinging it around.
Jacked up. I mean, God, since the last time I saw you, I bet you went from curling 50 pounds to 150. I mean, look at that motherfucker. Jacked up.
Bro, I've looked
you gotta
the
start
same.
Shaving your arms.
I've looked the same. No,
you gotta shave your arms.
What am I, gay?
No, but you're striations, motherfucker.
What?
Striations.
What the fuck's a striation?
Striations, like, I don't have any. I'm too fat. But
you should have ripples in your muscles.
Look,
oh no, I'm not doing that.
Look how much hold on. Look at your fucking gorilla arm.
It's not a gorilla arm.
No, but first of all,
same arm it was last time.
It happens to be that you are light haired, so that does help. That you're light haired.
Yeah,
but,
so the lines.
But it looks it's so much. It's such a cleaner look when you don't have all that fucking hair there. And I'm like 3 days stubble right now, but like.
That's like
your wife would appreciate it more.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore, Bubba.
Not that you're fisting her, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, like it's just a better presentation.
No,
what?
They keep the hair. The girl, my wife likes hair.
Before the show started, I gave you a little tidbit. You really need to just listen. What's the worst? It'll grow back. Shave your arms one time and see if your girl likes it. How about your chest? Do you have chest hair?
I have chest hair, yeah.
You don't shave?
No, hell no. I like the hair. I like the way it looks.
How much do you got?
Not enough.
See, you're a little blonde twink.
Yeah, I'm not like super covered in hair. I'm not like an Italian meatball.
Yeah, but if you would shave your arms, your wife would really like that.
No, I'm not doing that.
Why? Why you got such a hard-headed about?
I don't like the way it feels. I've shaved them when I was in high school. I tried shaving my legs and my arms.
No, I didn't say your fucking legs. I mean, gee, see, you fucked it up. You a good thing up. You went too far. You would have if you would have stuck to your arms, you've been good.
My brother,
I don't shave my legs. I mean,
oh right, yeah. But my brother in high school was like huge into lifting, still is, and he would always shave his legs and his arms. And so
his arms look good as.
So I tried it once, and I hated the way it felt. It feels so weird. I can't explain the way it feels, but I'm not. I don't. It's uncomfortable. Plus, you're
so hard headed.
You got to have a little.
No wonder you're successful because you don't listen. I mean, I'm just telling you,
Bubba. The hair is the women like the hair better.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, okay. Let me ask you a question. What about your bush?
Any woman who's under.
What about your bush? My shit's completely down to zero.
Oh, I keep it trimmed.
No, down to zero. Right down to zero, like a fucking hardwood floor.
No. Back in high school, yeah, but not anymore.
No, what do you mean back in high school, but not anymore?
Like that was back in high school, back in like when we were in high school in the 2000s. Yeah. I mean,
so what would change? What has changed? Your wife. Now,
I got older.
You think she wants that?
Yeah, she likes the hair.
Have you asked her?
Yeah, she tells me.
Have you guys ever had the
She
discussion?
tells me.
What does she say?
She says She says I don't like it when you shave it down to the skin. I like a little bit of hair down there.
She likes stubble.
Yeah.
So when you're blasting her, she gets that razor burn.
No, she doesn't like the razor burn. That's why she likes a little bit hairy, not the stubble. She likes it longer than stubble.
Like AstroTurf.
Kind of like AstroTurf, yeah.
Get her on the horn.
Long Bermuda grass.
Yeah, she likes me to braid it long.
Bahia, Bahia.
Like Bahia.
She likes it like the golf course. They got to mow it and cross hatches.
In all the years of podcasting,
like a nice fairway.
In all the years of podcasts, has a guest ever got you to talk about your pubic hair?
Never. You're the first. You're the first, Bubba. You're
one of one.
A rare.
I'm one of
one.
It's hot as in here. Can we turn the air down?
Yeah, Bubba likes it cold. Can we crank it down?
All you skinny guys in here. I mean, give me a fucking break.
I forgot you told me last time you were here.
We're on caffeine. Sweating.
I can't wait for Danny to try my
the new cocktail.
My content host cocktail.
Because that's
you got to try it, and then you got to text me and be like, yes or no, like give me a bearing as to how.
Yeah, then we'll adjust the levels
15
accordingly.
15 milligrams of Adderall.
I don't want to necessarily be talking about this shit on the air.
Oh, okay. We'll cut it out.
I mean, yeah, fuck. I want to get everybody. We don't want to get everybody
Get
in
the
on the
secret
deal.
out.
Okay, all right. We won't tell them.
we don't want everybody to be as cool as us.
15 milligrams of something, and then half of another
Shut
thing.
the fuck up! God, he doesn't listen when he's supposed to.
Never.
But arm shaving and shit. Like, well, look at you though. You're Sasquatch too. Look at you.
He is.
Man.
What happened to you?
He's FUBAR, bro. Tell him the story. What happened the other
happened to
day?
you, Concrete Willie?
Shane the
Got
other day.
banged up.
Concrete Clem was at a barbecue the other day with his girlfriend, and some dude walked
That
by.
sounds so white trash. Concrete Clem was at a barbecue with his girlfriend, and we're talking to him with an arm sling right now and an Ocala Speedway racetrack T-shirt. I mean, it doesn't get any fucking larghetto than that.
No,
I'm
it
just
doesn't.
telling you.
It doesn't.
So Concrete Clem is at a barbecue with his girlfriend.
He's at a barbecue on the trade winds in St. Pete Beach with his girlfriend.
Oh, that spiffs it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little nicer.
Okay,
than
let's
barbecue.
wait. It gets so much better.
Okay.
Okay. So his girlfriend's sister, some family member of his girlfriend is having their 4-year-old's birthday party.
Okay.
Simultaneously, they're
They're
there.
doing a family gimmick.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
really good ass on
Yeah.
the backside too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you can throw that back in an old girl's face. Listen, I went to a
yeah.
motherfucking 4-year-old's birthday party for you.
Yeah.
How about some head?
All weekend.
And it was
Anal
their
maybe too.
And it was their announcement of that they're pregnant. They're having a new baby, right? So
Who,
they're
the
announcing
him or the
the
new,
other part of the
couple.
family.
So,
like
they're celebrating a 4-year-old and they're announcing they're pregnant.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, this is a big deal.
and a random friend of them, this dude who's been like a lifelong friend, walks by and grabs his girlfriend's ass in front of him.
Grab Concrete Clem's ass?
No, his girlfriend's ass.
No, his girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah, Concrete
This
Clem's.
dude grabbed her ass.
Just big old handful?
Gave her like a smack, and then there at the top of the water slide, he tried to pull a quick one.
Yeah, sure.
She's on this side. He's over here. They're getting ready to go down the slide. Little divider. He gives her a boom and jumps down the slide.
That's it? Just a little boom?
Concrete
You made it sound like worse than that.
Concrete
Well, how
Clem.
much worse does it got to get?
Let me show you how bad it can get. Watch.
Well, nah, I know how bad it can get, but how bad does it get?
Let him grab your
I was
ass.
thinking he was going like that and then
Yeah.
like that. I mean, if you just give him a little.
Maybe he slipped a finger in there or something.
Who
There's no
knows,
finger
man.
slipping, but I mean, you barely grabbed my ass.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the big deal? You're just like, hey, buddy, come on.
Well, look, I confronted him. I asked him about it. He instantly swolled up on me, ready to fight.
Would you say, hey, buddy, why'd you grab my girl?
I said, yo, did you touch my girl? What's going on?
Now,
Yeah,
see, it's
instantly.
all in that. See,
Yeah,
you
see?
automatically started with a bad
Drop
attitude.
the F-bomb.
That shows you how old are you, Concrete Clem?
37.
See, you're a young gun. You got way too much testosterone. I mean,
Hey.
almost as much as
Hey,
Danny.
he's on twice the amount that I'm on.
Don't look it. You might want to change brands
Yeah.
and get on the Danny Jones.
He's behind it behind the Crunch Fitness.
I might,
You gotta go. You
I
gotta,
might need the Bubba cocktail.
You know where I get my test? Publix.
What do you mean?
Publix Pharmacy.
Oh, they ain't selling me tests over the counter?
My doctor.
No, you get a prescription.
You get a prescription.
That costs a lot of money.
That's real. No, it doesn't. It's a $38 fucking copay. Concrete
Danny
Clem.
pays like $3,000 a month or some
No,
shit, bro.
he's on
Stop
some
it.
TRT special
Stop
fucking
it.
$6 million
Give me your
man
doctor.
shit. But so anyway, he grabbed. So why didn't you do this approach? Hey, buddy, did you grab my girl's ass?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, hey, dude.
No, I didn't call him a f***head. I said, hey, yo, he was walking away. I said, did you touch my girl? And I wasn't happy about it.
He was 8 mules deep.
He instantly
Hey,
turns
how many?
around.
8, about 8.
Okay.
He turns around. He gets ready to fight. He's ready to fight. F you.
I like that guy's approach. Grabs
well,
ass and then wants to fight about it.
Yeah, sure.
So
It's
what
respectable.
happened? So what happened? Looks like you got the arm sling, and how's he rolling today?
No, this is
Yeah,
before the
so-
sling.
Yeah.
He already had
So I got,
two
a bad,
muffed
I
up
got
shoulders.
a bad shoulder. I go to, he swells up on me. He's a little bigger than me too, so I can't let him hem me up. I got injuries. I can't really fight. I got bad shoulders.
And you got your girl looking at you.
yeah, so
the
I can't get my
family.
ass beat.
His
And
shoulders
so,
have been known to pop out.
Right.
Yeah, my shoulders popped out a lot. So
Trolling that concrete stuff.
So
Yeah.
he comes charging at me, and I go to throw a punch, and my shoulder pops out. So I grab my
Complete
shoulder.
paper
I'm like,
tiger.
Once he notices I'm injured, he starts charging me.
Good.
So I give him a kick. All I
Roundhouses
got left
him.
is a kick. I got to keep him away from me because if he grabs me up, I'm f***ed. So I give him a couple kicks.
This is so cops.
I give him a couple kicks, one
Give
to
him
the
a couple of these
head,
gimmicks.
one to the
Head?
head,
Up to the head?
two to the body. I'm tall, man. I got
You
long
head
legs.
kicked him?
Can
He's
egg
short.
concrete
He's short,
Clem
like,
and kung fu fighting.
So once he realizes I'm not letting him get close enough to get me, it kind of goes from there. He's "F you and your pink bathing suit shorts and "F you
Hold
and
on.
this and that.
He was wearing
Hold
pink.
on. Did you have pink?
Yeah, I had pink bathing suit on, man.
You're overpaying for your test, and you're wearing shorts. I mean, concrete Clem. Just when I thought I could maybe save
Bubba,
you.
I'm out here pouring yards. I don't got the podcast lifestyle, man.
I mean, you should.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you should be Danny's assistant. I mean, you should be.
And Danny calls me, pick me up 2 white rabbits from the gas station. Bubba's on the way.
I would say those are $40 a piece, mother.
Yeah, he said, get me a case. I said, I can only afford 2. F you.
Well, concrete Clem, you need to infuse yourself into Danny Jones' world. Is what you need.
That's
You're
all
out
right,
there
gotta pay the
troweling
bills.
concrete.
He's pouring me concrete
Gotta pay the
countertops
bills,
for the new
man.
warehouse.
My guys
I
are
love
building
that
sinks and
industrial
shit right
concrete
now.
look. I love
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah, it's
I love
badass.
that. Yeah.
Well, let's get you something.
No, I ain't in the mood for
Unreal.
anything you're slinging, buddy. You can't even buy the right test, motherfucker.
Come on. Can you throw a guy a bone over here?
So hold on.
So now he's
what
got
happens?
2 thrown shoulders.
The guy fucking doesn't whip your ass, but he grabs your girl's ass, tells you about it,
Yeah.
gives you a couple fucking let her learn yous,
Yeah.
and then you out on your shorts.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then is that where it ended?
No, that's
so
not where it
after
ended.
that, his kid's there too. His kid sees me give him a couple kicks. His kid gets frantic, says, I'm calling the cops. He runs back to the family. They're at the cabana at the pool. We're on the beach right here. Nobody's even there seeing it go down.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? He's leaving. He's going back. I'm like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm going to just go get my car keys. I'm getting the fuck out of here away from
'Cause you're
everybody.
scared.
and this
You're
whole thing.
scared.
I got nobody with me, man.
And you're scared
I'm
because the
injured.
cops are coming.
Cops are coming.
You don't know
I'm
how
on a
it's gonna
bum
play
shoulder,
out.
And I'm the bad guy right now. So I'm out
And
of
you
here.
got 8 whatever's in you.
Yeah, I got drinks
Moscow
galore
mules.
is in me. Pina coladas.
What about
and
old girl?
fucking- Yeah,
Now,
she's
did-
blackout drunk.
Oh, girl's blacked out.
Drunk.
Blacked out.
Did she
don't
even know her
what's
ass was
going on.
grabbed?
She doesn't understand even what's going on. What's happening? What's happening?
Which is even worse. Why you shouldn't
So
have
I
gotten
got
a fight.
nobody to back up for me. So anyway, I'm like, I'm going to leave. Everybody. The family, everybody. I'm out of here. I go
What's
to the
the fam-
room to get my car keys. They're not there. I realize they're at the cabana where everybody's at.
And you're probably borderline frantic at this point.
I'm frantic. I'm sweating bullets. I'm fucking
Because you're
hundreds.
going to
I'm
jail.
sobered up
'Cause
now.
You know why? Because he's got more
The
witnesses
fucking
than you
kid,
do.
and yeah, so
whole
I'm in a
fucking
bad
million.
shot. So I realize my keys are at the cabana where they're all at. So I'm like, this is going to be a tough one. Can I sneak my keys out of there in front of everybody and get the fuck out of here? So I put a hoodie on. I change my clothes. I go down
Oh, you're
there.
the fucking Unabomber now?
I'm looking. I see him over there huddled up by the cabana, and I see my bag.
Oh,
in
they're
the
getting their
corner.
story together. They're over there fucking-
He's over there telling his
holding
whole
court.
side of the story
He's holding
now.
court. This is how it's all going to go
This
down.
is how everything happened. This
Yeah.
guy's drunk. He's an
And you ain't got
asshole. It's
no
fucked.
backup.
I got no backup.
With
So
a
I
tweaked
go-
shoulder that just popped out.
tweaked. So I go over
Wearing
there.
fag shorts.
I sneak the bag. I put it over my shoulder. I get out. I got my hoodie on. I walk all the way from the pool, which is on the beach side.
How about
you
old
know?
girl? Where's old girl?
I don't know where she's at right now.
You don't
Left
give a
her.
fuck?
No, I'm out of here.
You're leaving her too?
Everybody
Okay.
gone. She's no help to me right now.
Right. You gotta stay out of
she's
jail.
actually a liability to me.
Right,
at this
exactly.
point.
I don't
So
know
I
that.
gotta
I don't
get.
even know that
I gotta
bitch.
get the hell out of there. So I go sneak the bag, throw it on my shoulder. I walk out. I get past the pool, through the lobby to the parking lot. Out of nowhere, I just get meleeed in the back of the head. Boom. All my shit goes spilling everywhere. My phone, I get like knocked out. I'm concussed. I get up. The family's in my face, grabbing me by the shoulders. Why would you do this? Fuck you. You're this, you're that. He's trying to fucking fight me still. The brother-in-law is ready to fight me. The mother-in-law is ready to fight me. The sister. I leave my phone. I leave everything. I got my keys in my hand. I run. No shirt on, nothing. No shoes, no shirt,
This
nothing.
is straight Kansas City shit. I'm
Oh,
just telling you
yeah.
that right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I run to the car, I get in the car, I leave.
But they got your phone.
They got everything. Yeah.
You didn't get arrested though.
No, I don't know. if
He's
the cops
got-
came or
Are you
not.
still with your girl?
No, we're not talking right now.
Really? You want me to call her up and make it better?
No.
Be like,
It ain't
listen.
gonna get better,
What's her,
Bubba.
what's her first name?
Alicia.
Be like, listen, Alicia. Concrete Clem was just, you grabbed your ass, was defending your honor.
Yeah.
Things went south on him.
So that night,
Bubba
they
wants to
gassed,
do a
they
call-in
gassed-
position.
I want to call her right now. Listen,
We need to
so
do a
they
live
get-
call.
yeah,
they-
well,
they
I'll fix
gassed-
this shit. I mean, she'll be sucking your dick by 7 o'clock tonight.
Bro. So they gaslight me all night. I was never even on the slide. Nobody was on the slide. You're fucking crazy. What are you doing? You're drunk.
The
You're
family.
stoned.
The family's
Her
gaslighting him.
and the family.
Oh, so now the
Even my
family's
girl.
hooked up with your girl.
That's her family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got
So everybody's like-
an alliance against
Yeah.
it's called, friends
just
it's
are
called
drunk and
Friends and
stoned
Families
and you're
Against
fucked.
Concrete Clem.
Yeah.
You're fucked. You got like
I'm fucked.
1 verse 60.
Yeah. Everybody.
So now it looks like things are still fucked.
More of the story
So
is
the next day, she wakes up and comes to. She starts remembering everything. Yeah, it did happen. Shane's right. this guy has notoriously been known for this. He's done shit like this before. He's
The
had
ass grabber.
problems.
The ass grabber.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
fucked
he's an
with
ass
other
grabber.
people's girl. His wife and kid are there also, which is crazy. They've gotten in fights.
I mean, have
for
you
him
ever thought
doing
about
shit
your
like
wife
this
has a pretty
before.
nice ass and the guy just felt compelled to grab it?
Sure, she does, man, but I can't just let it fucking slide with every guy out there. Bubba Clem's grabbing my girl's ass on the water slide.
I'm usually
I can't
on the
have
other
it
side.
happen,
They're
man.
fucking my wife usually.
You know what I mean? I can't let that slide.
I'm usually on the other side of it, cuz.
Yeah,
The fuck.
yeah. I don't got Bubba money, man. I couldn't.
We're having this podcast based on my wife
Who
getting
am
fucked
I?
by
Then
Hogan.
I'm just a loser who lets guys grab our ass and don't say nothing. But I gotta say
I
something
got
as
you,
a man.
Concrete.
You
I
know what
got
I
you.
mean?
I
I
got
can't
you.
do that. That's
No, I
fucking
understand.
bullshit.
I understand, but look at you though. I mean,
Yeah.
you're fucked right now.
I'm fucked.
He's got to get his shoulders fixed. We need to find him a good surgeon. I don't think there's any way he's going to fix it with
And you know
physical
what I've
therapy.
been told? I've been told that shoulder surgery, unless you can still take your arm and walk it up,
Can't.
then you need it. But other than that,
Both of them.
live with it because it is the most
Bubba, yesterday
brutal.
I was in the car and I reached with this arm to close the passenger window and it popped out.
Can you take a gallon of milk and hold it like
Not
that?
right now, not with this arm. No. I'm in excruciating pain.
At least if I fought you, I'm going right for that fucking shoulder.
Well, that's why I'm throwing kicks.
Fuck your kicks, bitch. My fatness can absorb your kicks,
No,
but
hey,
one of my
that-
little T-Rex
That
fucking
fucking
hitters.
teeth ain't
if I came
absorbing
right
this
there-
size 13 shoe, I'll tell you that.
If I came right there, just
Never, you'll never get that close with those chicken arms, man. Never are you getting that close to me.
This T. They call
Never,
him
Bubba.
T-Rex. They're
yeah.
T-Rex.
You'll never get
His
that
fatness
close.
can absorb that 13, and I'm gonna
Anybody
get
that
up on
has,
that.
if you got weight over my weight, I can't let you get close enough to me then.
Yeah, because I get.
If you wrap me up, I'm done.
Well, here, if I put my knee on that,
I'm
on
a
that
fucking
shoulder,
Gumby. Yeah,
you're
you
done.
wrap me up.
You're right.
I'm over. So I can't let you touch me.
You gotta
Nobody.
stay. You gotta stay nimble, crack nimble.
Yeah, I'm fast
Yeah.
and you gotta
Well,
stay
I don't
away.
know how fucking fast you are.
Yeah, I'm faster than you. I know that.
Well, it doesn't take much to be faster than me.
Not
My
saying a
shoulders,
lot.
my shoulders are fucked too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my shit's fucked.
I'm bad, man.
Look at steroid boy over there. He's fucking jacked, no problems.
No problems yet. My joints are good. I keep,
Are you
I keep
even
healthy.
30 yet? Have you? I mean, how old are you?
38. I just turned 38.
Are you serious?
God, I'm getting old.
Yeah, but you're killing it. Did you ever think that some stupid fuck that was painting lines, for a living, listening to me on the radio?
I was hanging out with crackhead painters at 6 a.m. in the back of a
and the
van with a
painters
bunch of.
and painters are straight crackheads.
Oh, straight crackheads.
Straight crackheads.
Yep.
They only paint enough to make enough money for crack, and then they'll take a couple days off, and then they'll come back and paint again for crack.
Exactly.
I know.
Yep. I was
You were probably
schlepping paint buckets to the up 10 stories, painting Hyatts
And they're
in
talking
Sarasota.
down to you because you're young.
Oh, yeah.
You're the young boy. Hey, young boy, go get that 5 fucking gallons.
Listening to
Shut the fuck
Bubba
up.
every morning. I would look forward to sitting
And
there.
now look at
half
you.
asleep, half conscious, listening to Bubba. Fucking, that was the only thing that gave me life.
Just dying for a Ned bit to come in.
Multi-millionaire. Just fucking look at you. I'm so proud of you. Look what you become.
It's pretty wild, Bubba.
I mean, just the growth that you've had since I've been here last.
Yeah, it's
I
insane.
mean,
it's
I mean,
crazy.
you've tripled what you've had, I think.
That's
probably
crazy. I don't
since-
know why.
I know because you're not that fucking
I'm not good.
You suck.
I do suck.
I look at something like, what the fuck's he doing so good?
It's because I
can't-
bring people like you in.
Well,
It's all about the guests.
yeah, I mean, okay, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean,
We got Bubba and Matt Cox. We're doing good.
Yeah, Bubba and Matt Cox. Morgan Fraud Matt. What's wrong with Matt? Why don't you like Matt? Oh, I forgot. He pissed off your buddy.
Well,
He pissed off the
here's the thing, I would
the boob
lo-
job guy.
I'd love to do stuff with him. He's brilliant. Listen, just like you're a good host, and I know how good you are. I look at your shit, and Matt's brilliant. He's got a great look. He's got a great story. He's a good communicator. But Matt doesn't have a fucking filter, and so there's just
What do you mean?
well, so I had him on the show, and I think we were jiving pretty good. I think maybe I was hogging up. Maybe I might have been stepping over him a little bit. I might have been.
No.
But I had Diaco's in there, Dr. Diaco, and or it actually had Jay Diaco in there, and Matt just always has to get the last word in. Like Matt can never. I can be the brunt of a joke. I can. You can be the brunt of a joke. We fuck with you about your arm hair and shit like that. Concrete Clem can be the brunt of the joke. You got to be self-deprecating.
Unless you're grabbing his chick's ass.
Right. And in the right circumstances, you might let a guy grab a girl's ass.
You know, if it was you, Bubba, it'd have been a different story.
But
You know what I mean?
But let me ask you a question. If the dude would have said, if you rolled up on him, and he said, and the dude went, you know what, dude, I did, and I don't even know what's. I mean, I've been drinking, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything. By
Exactly,
I'd
it would have been
let that
fine.
slide.
No, for real, like if a guy was, you know, I mean, you're not gonna
Look, I'm not there to blow the whole family event
right,
up.
exactly.
You know
so,
what I mean?
And if the guy said, hey, dude, you know what,
fucking drunk and I fucked up.
I'm drunk, and I think
he could have said that. I was hoping it went that way. When I was going to walk to him to ask him, in my head, I'm hoping this is a misunderstanding.
Cool. This guy's gonna be cool.
Hope it. Oh, it wasn't that. It was. I'm sorry. Whatever.
And if he even
but as soon as I asked him, he turned around and he squared up
Right.
on me. Said, "What the fuck are you gonna do?"
At that's the point of no
that
return.
comes with age and wisdom.
So that's how I know what I saw.
So if
was
I grabbed your
correct, too.
girl's ass, I would have said, you know what, bro, I've been
My
having
bad.
way too much to
Fuck,
drink.
Yeah, we're all drunk. Let me
I'm
buy you
high.
a shot.
I'm
sorry.
high.
I'm high
horny.
as fuck.
Yeah, here's a
I'm
perk.
taking testosterone. I got a hard dick. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Me too,
I
bud.
saw that ass.
Me too.
And I fucking and I did.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I said, you know what?
I deserve.
Your girl has nice titties. Let me get a feel over there. We'll
yeah,
call
my
it
girl's
even.
got nice titties, and your girl got a nice
call it a
ass.
wash.
Maybe we can get them to scissor, and we can watch in the corner. I don't
Sure.
fucking know.
It could have went different.
You could have said,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
and you know,
never
I'd be
my
like, you know what,
intention.
brother, I got an ass kicking coming. If you want to lay one in on me, man, go ahead. You would have said, nah, fuck, I got you, brother.
Yeah.
But you know, the guy determined what the fuck happened. Well, with Matt is so, I don't want to say so much of a con, but he's led such a con-like life, and that he doesn't know when to be couth or have any couth. And so him and Diaco got into a little bit of an argument or a disagreement, or maybe it was about the subject matter we were talking about. I don't know. It wasn't anything that I thought was that I needed to step in on. They were, you know, when you got two, like me and Concrete Clem going out, if we were really mad at each other, you would step in and say, hey, you two settle down. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that at all. I thought it was just
He was asking him about his case, right? Something about his case.
something like that. Yeah. Well, Matt had a girl that he knew that supposedly got a boob job from Dr. Diaco. That I think there was complications involved in it.
Oh, okay.
And I think the woman maybe sued Dan, you know, for replacement boobs or something like that. And it was something like that. But to a doctor, you just don't say that.
Oh, he said that on the air.
Yes.
Oh God.
Oh, fucking Matt.
Yeah.
God
So
damn.
on the air. So like Dan, Dr. Diaco, who's a doctor and a lawyer, you know, that's a pretty big swinging dick in life. He's got
It's a hell of a combo.
you're a doctor and a lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, you're you know,
you're covering it
so
all.
you're kind of a slinging dick, and you're not going to have some fucking con say that to you on the air, disclosing a mess up that you made. And it just was like, pew, pew, pew. And, you know, out of loyalty to the Diacos who are on my air,
He wasn't having it.
I would love to have Matt back. I think he's got a fascinating story. I think he's a great interviewer and some of his guests.
His podcast is blowing up.
Oh, as it should. He's good. You know, like I remember earlier I talked about how the shit's going to fall away and the good stuff's going to stick.
Yep.
Matt's a prime example
Sticking around,
of
yeah. He's
Matt's a
growing.
prime example that, you know, started with 0 followers
Yep.
and now has
0.
what, 250,000?
He has almost 800,000.
Yeah, on
YouTube.
Yeah, so God bless him. And I could tell that the guy had the it factor when I had him on the show. He tells fascinating stories.
Great storyteller.
He's a great storyteller. He has a fascinating story in himself. Good looking guy, talented, great painter. I loved the dude.
Jack to the gills.
Jack to the fucking gills.
Talk about
On
tests.
triple whatever you are. I guarantee you that motherfucker shaves his arms. I
for
promise
sure.
you he does.
Of course, for
he does.
sure.
He's also a very talented painter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a I wish I wouldn't have had that conflict with him, because I'd love to do business with him, or you know, have him back on, or him have me back on, or something like that. You know, maybe you can help me bridge that gap, because it wasn't between
Matt would do it again, I think.
Oh yeah.
it wasn't between me and Matt. It was
Right.
between, you know, my guy and
I
Matt.
think Matt thinks that you won't talk to him anymore because you don't want to piss off your friend.
Oh no, that's not the case.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I wouldn't have Matt on my show with them in
Diaco,
there,
yeah.
Right,
but I would
right.
have. They're only in there twice a week. I would have Matt and vice versa. And listen, I admire his work. I mean, I could tell you 3 or 4 guests that he's had. He had a guy that was making counterfeit money out of Bibles. Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
That was you. Yeah.
He had him on first, but he came on my show after he went on.
Right,
So,
you know, and so Matt has some great guy, and the motherfucker has the it factor.
He's a workhorse too. He records like 5 to 6 podcasts a week every fucking day, back to back. Sometimes he does 2 or 3 a day. I'm like, Matt, how do you do it? I'm like, because when I have people on, I usually like take some time, like research them, watch their documentaries, read parts of I can't read a whole book every fucking week, but like I'll skim the book, read a lot of the book, watch other podcasts they've done. So I'm like somewhat coherent in what they're talking about. Cause like, I don't just cover true crime. I cover a wide variety of topics. Yeah. Matt goes, bro, he's like, I don't do anything. He's like, I basically read like a paragraph of what their story is. And then I go in and do it. And I do like 2 a day, 6 days a week.
And guess what? He does it well.
He does do it well.
I mean, he does it well.
That's a talent, man. That's
he's a very talented dude.
Yeah.
I mean, just how he got himself involved in being in trouble was
You gotta be talented.
brilliant.
Pull that off.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And cool in the pocket. You know, some of the
In the
stories
bank.
when he's in the bank and he's cool as a fucking cucumber and he knows that it might not go through and that the fucking cops might become like, I would be a fucking nervous wreck.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Not Matt. Matt's, you know, and I got a lot of respect for his ability. He's got to, he's a prime example of what I said. The shit will fall away and the good stuff will come through. And I think that that's happening more and more with podcasting. You see people shutting their shit down because they suck.
Are you having guests in on your show? Your show is daily, right?
Yeah, daily. Yeah.
You don't do guests?
I'd love to, but doing 6 to 10, I do 6 to 10. It's so hard to get a guest.
Why can't you change the time?
Because I'm still on 5
recently.
terrestrial radio stations. I'm still on 5 terrestrial radio stations. But realistically, digital pays the bills. Even in my world, digital pays the bills. And so I'm getting ready to. If this documentary doesn't somewhat reinvent me terrestrially, where I would get some large affiliates that would want to have me on as their morning guy, I'll probably change the time and go like 11 to 2 digitally and just stay all digital.
Do you like having guests or do you like just talking and just going?
Well, I love having guests.
Because your ability is just to like go crazy and freaking let go.
I don't need a guest.
You don't need a guest. You're great by yourself.
Sure. But I've interviewed Joe Rogan. I've interviewed.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I've interviewed everybody. So I pride myself on being a really good interviewer. I just need to, I was at my lowest point in 18, so I didn't have an opportunity to have a big staff, and I quite frankly need to get back into the guest booking arena. It's just hard. I was late to the podcasting game. I was late to the YouTube game. So my numbers aren't nearly as impressive as what they should be to probably book big guests, but I do have the name value, the time served, so to speak. And, still have probably within the shock jock world, probably one of the premier radio people that are still around,
How do you, I was asking Rogan about this when I was talking to him when I went and met with him in Austin the night before, he did a comedy show like at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night or something like that. And he was like, on stage, you could tell this was like he was working out material that he obviously had been working out for a while that he hasn't come out public with yet. It's like because when you go to his club, you have to lock your phone in the little case so you can't record it because they're just trying to like figure out what works, what doesn't work. And he was also just like riffing. He finished his set and he goes, "I got like 30 more minutes to go. So if you guys just want to ask me questions,
Q&A."
He goes, "I'll do a Q&A with the crowd." He did that for like an hour.
Yeah.
And people were asking him questions about like relevant current event topics, and he would come out like high octane. He would have fucking funny opinions on everything that had just happened in the news that week or that day.
See, that's kind of what we do.
And it was like, I wasn't even aware of some of the stuff that he was talking about, but he was like super quick, super funny, and like roasting people while he was doing it. It was just like another level.
Like
I've never seen that on any of his podcasts.
Yeah.
He was like, he shifted like 3 gears above how he is on his podcast during that comedy. And I was like, dude, how do you
And that's an art form in itself.
It is.
Being able to be on your toes, talk about current events, have an opinion about it, make it funny,
right?
And all while potentially turning it around on the person that asked the question.
Right.
So,
and that's what you did. That's what you do.
It's what I do. Yeah. That's what I do. So I I would love to have guests, but a lot of guests are afraid of me because of my reputation. But yeah, I need to start having guests. And if I switch my time, which looks like I'm probably gonna do maybe probably first quarter of next year, do more of like a 11 to 2 digital kind of deal. I think I'd be more guest friendly than 7 a.m. You know.
So you wake up at like 4 a.m.
I wake up at
read the news
3:40.
And then how does that work? How's that process work?
I wake up at 3:40, eat breakfast, take a shower, leave the house at 4:15, get to the studios at 4:45, and then then I have two of my guys, Lummy and Seth, my co-hosts, that the night before will go through all the stories that I like, and have. So in my email, I'll have 20 stories, and I'll go through those and pick sometimes all 20 of them, sometimes 13 of them, and we talk about that in conjunction with just stuff that happens in our personal life. Like with Concrete Clem, if he was in there, we would have told the
right,
him and his pink short story.
Yeah.
So. But I need to do more guests. I mean, I had Mark Cuban on not too long ago, and he sent me a note that says, God dang, you're a good interviewer. So I need to do that more. I really do. I probably need to take a page from how do you book your guests?
We get usually they're just
well, you're now at a point where people are sucking your dick to come on your show.
We get a lot of requests to come on the show. It's mainly people that want to promote their books, like authors and things like that, or but like also one of the biggest ways we get guests is from guests just recommending their friends.
Right.
Like, I know a guy who'd be great who wants to do your show. I'm like,
kind of like you
cool.
and Matt Cox, like when he had that counterfeit guy.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Danny, I got this counterfeit guy. He's a good dude. So that's the difference between podcasting and regular radio. The regular radio guy won't give you that up. The podcasting guy will.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the difference.
The debates are fun too. Like having people in, because I have a lot of people in here who have like pretty controversial opinions on things, like on crazy topics, and then like getting other people in there in the podcast to like debate them or like go back and forth. Like that can be really fun.
I'm a good friend. I'm good friends with Alex Stein, and he does that a lot. Alex Stein. I don't know if you've heard of him or not.
I've heard of him.
He's a big debate kind of guy.
I want to
debating too.
I want to get Peter Thiel in here. Talk about the Antichrist.
Yeah. I mean, he's the one that financed Hogan's.
I know.
Illegal
gay Christian billionaire.
Yeah, I mean
that's a combination.
I don't know if he would come. I mean, he's pretty. I don't know.
I have a friend who works for him.
Oh well, there's your in.
Yeah,
there's your in. It's all about ends. You know.
What do you think about him going on this tour to promote the Antichrist in Silicon Valley? He's doing a 4-part lecture that's sold out, all about the Antichrist. Have you seen these clips?
No.
Oh my! I sent you the one of Tim Dillon talking about it on Rogan.
I saw that.
Oh yeah, I did get that. I watched that.
Yeah. This guy who's sending drones all over the world to all these war zones to kill all these people, simultaneously putting together this AI that he's selling to the CIA to surveil us and our neighbors, society, and his pet project seems to be a keen interest in Satan.
And this is Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel, yeah.
Yeah.
He's behind this big. I mean, all about Peter Thiel. Most people know, his history. He's like the biggest he was one of the early investors in Facebook.
PayPal.
He owns PayPal as well, Palantir. His
number one goal was to bury Gawker because Nick Denton was the one that outed him as being gay. So that was his big hard-on with Gawker. So when Hogan started to sue Gawker, Hogan didn't have the resources locally to step up to the big boy league, and Gawker did. At one point, Gawker had way better representation than Hogan did. And once Peter Thiel, whatever the fuck, once he found out that Hogan had an ongoing legal battle with Gawker, he called up his lawyer, Charles Harder, out of Beverly Hills and said, I don't care what it takes. I will pay for every fucking dollar of that litigation And it changed everything. Hogan was able to do research. He was able to do mock trials. He was able to. Oh yeah, it changed. I mean, rumor has it is that his legal bill was upwards of $8 million. And at that point, they had determined, they'd mock tried it. They had all the research that they needed, and they'd already deposed me. They knew what my testimony was going to be, and that's one of the reasons why I think well Hogan prevailed because Gawker invaded his privacy. Let's be honest. I mean, they had no business on publishing that tape. They obtained it illegally. They knew it was stolen. They didn't have consensual forms from Heather or him, so they should have never published it. It wasn't a newsworthy event. Hogan fucking my wife is not a newsworthy event if it's not on the beach, but it's in my house with closed curtains. So why Gawker even published that, is beyond me.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing, and the general consensus, like for people that aren't paying attention, was that you released it as a publicity stunt to make money on it.
Everybody thinks that I did it all. I planned it. I taped it. I took that footage to my work. I then strategized with whomever to try to broker it. I tried to extort Hogan. I then, when none of that worked, leaked it to Gawker so that I could get myself fired. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. I got fired.
Was that the peak of your career right there? Like that at that point?
2012, yeah. Well, no, I just left Sirius because they had low dogged me on the money, but I was still on Cox on the Bone and had 14 affiliates. Probably doing $2.5 million a year, something like that. So, we were doing well. And so,
and how much would have this tape have banked you if you would have been behind it to promote it, to sell it, to
I would have. There's no value in it at all. There's no. That's what people don't realize. Is,
the dude who tried extorting him wanted like $300,000, right?
Well, the guy who extorted him, Matt Lloyd, Spice Boy, wanted $300,000 because he'd already shopped it to Hollywood with Digital Underground and Wicked. And they said, well, we'll be interested. We'd be very interested in that. But do you have 2257 consent forms on the people that appear on camera? And he's like, well, no. I'm like, well, it's not worth fucking nothing. It's not worth nothing. So Spice Boy, Matt Lloyd, switched gears and said, okay, I can't sell it in the marketplace, but I can extort Hogan with it because it's, why would Hogan will pay any? He wanted $1 million and they settled for $300,000 at the Sand Pearl when they met at the Sand Pearl, and so. And the reason why Hogan was willing to pay $300,000 for is because he didn't. It was very damning. Nobody wants that out. Nobody wants. He was caught saying the N-word and
right. And why would he want that out?
Why would
he was kicked out of the WWE for that?
Why would he want? Why would I want that? I mean, if you really take a look at it and be like, oh, Bubba did it all. Why would I want any of all that?
Right.
Why would I want to tape
burn the bridge with you and your best friend?
Hogan fucking my wife and I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to look like a fucking cuckolded asshole. Like, I mean, there's no upside for me. I'm making a couple $1 million in radio. Why do I want to? Right. So Cox comes to me. I'm still doing mornings. And Cox comes to me and says, you got to make this go away. Like, you got to make this go away. So Hogan at that time was suing me too because he didn't know that I wasn't part of the deal. So he settles with me. I have to write him a check for $5,000 to get out of the lawsuit. So I write him a check for $5,000 and give him all the rights to the tape. You own this tape. These tapes that are out there floating around that's causing all this havoc, they're yours. I don't want them. Now, if I'm the guy that's trying to extort him or sell it or broker it, why would I pay the guy $5,000 and sign over the rights to the tape? The only way he could sue Gawker is if he owned those tapes.
Right.
So when they go to the Sand Pearl hotel, the FBI arrests the person that Spice Boy sent to represent them and arrests Keith Davidson, the guy who brokered the tape. And Hogan is the one that alerted the FBI that he was being extorted, and they arrest these people. And then once it goes through the state attorney or the U.S. attorney, they find out that Bubba and Hogan are your victims. And they're like, listen, that's a pro wrestler and a shock jock. This could be a fucking clown show, the feds only go to trial when they know they're going to win. And they decided to no file. So nobody was held accountable for the leak. Nobody was held accountable. So once Spice Boy got arrested, but then didn't get prosecuted, the tape is dead. There's no value to that tape.
Right.
There's nothing unless you can get it published somewhere. So Spice Boy gives it to Mike Calta, and Mike Calta leaks it to AJ Delirio of Gawker, and I get fired. And Mike Calta, of all people, because Cox doesn't know who leaked it, they promote Mike Calta to do my job, who's still there today doing my job.
The mornings, yeah.
And
he does mornings now?
Does the morning show.
did my
That
morning
Bubba
show.
used to have the morning show.
The morning
He
show that
to
you
do the
used to
afternoon
listen
spot.
to
Now is him.
has been for well over a decade.
Wow. I've
And-
never listened to him once on there.
I listened to him.
And so here's the deal. Hogan is brilliant, was brilliant. He's like, once he got Peter Thiel involved, they're like, we can take 2 bites of this apple. We can take a bite of the apple for the people that published it, which is Gawker, and they're worth, at that time, their worth was $135 million. And then when that lawsuit goes down, we don't know what the outcomes that's going to be yet, but however that fares, then we're going to take a bite at who distributed it, who leaked it, and that was Cox Media. And I've been told that they wrote a $52 million check to Hogan. And so Hogan sued Gawker, and they navigated through that lawsuit, and they knew that where that ended up. And that ended up with a $141 million verdict that Gawker only could pay $35 million of because they filed bankruptcy, and Hogan was their largest creditor. So, but they had already tried this case, and they knew what a jury would do. So they went and they start to depose Mike Calta, and Cox settles the next day for $52 million because they didn't want any of that information, because at one time that sex tape was hosted on Cox management servers, and they were afraid. Hogan was suing them for $110 million, and they were afraid that they were going to lose. Gawker lost. Why wouldn't they?
Right.
The details of the dissemination and the leakage didn't change from the Gawker deal. They'd already tried it once and won. The second trial was going to go the same way.
Right.
Cox fired me, put Calta in there, didn't know Calta was part of this until they start doing investigation and phone records and things like that, and he's still there to this day. But there's a bigger piece in my documentary, Video Killed the Radio Star, that a lot of people don't know about, and that's who they were after as well, as which I'm sure that you know now. They wanted Trump.
Yeah, this
So-
is the Keith Davidson connection.
This is the
right?
Keith Davidson tie-in. So Keith brokered the tape and also brokered all the negotiations between Karen McDougal and Stormy Daniels with Michael Cohen, which was Trump's personal fixer / attorney. And he was negotiating exclusively with Keith Davidson, who was the broker of the Hogan tape. And they went to Keith Davidson and said, if you don't give us all correspondence that you've had with Michael Cohen, we still have 4 years of statute of limitations left in the Tampa sex tape that we didn't prosecute. We're going to go for you on that deal. So he laid down, was government's witness, and gave him all the correspondence that he had with Michael Cohen, and they got Michael Cohen to testify against the president.
Wow.
All from my little old sex tape.
That's so
That
wild.
at the end of the day, I'm not quite as jealous I am, that you are of your girl. I just let my girl fuck Hogan. That's it. He was living with me. He was down on his luck.
Yeah, how long? It was
lived with me for 3 or 4 months.
living at your house because that was the middle of his divorce.
The
and
middle
he
of
was
his
super
divorce,
depressed.
and I'm like, listen, I'm not a jealous motherfucker. We were kind of in the lifestyle a little bit, and so I was just like, fuck, won't you fuck Hogan? I'll cheer him up a little bit. My home surveillance caught it. I have some skin in this game, like I've said
home
before.
surveillance. You had you had the camera pointed at the bed though.
Well, no,
That's what some of the people say.
Well, that was a a peripheral view of my whole bedroom.
Oh, was it?
Oh, I mean,
okay.
yeah, it was.
Okay.
So, and let me just clarify why that.
You were in the other room watching the feed, Bubba. Don't get me wrong. Don't try to swindle me, Bubba.
Can I, with your hairy arms and all,
Try to pull McGillicuddy on me.
Can I tell you what I was really doing?
Yes.
This is pathetic. I was buying go-kart parts for my son.
Were you?
Yes, my son was in the quarter midgets at that time, and I was buying titanium axles, which are like $800. I was trying to find the best price on titanium axles. The reason why I had surveillance in my bedroom, and my whole house was surveilled except for other bedrooms, but my bedroom was under surveillance because I had a situation back in '99 where I was with a girl. And I was a bachelor back then. I was a bachelor, big ass house, making a lot of money.
This is Power Pig days?
No, this is 98 Rock days.
Okay.
Having a stripper every night, whole 9 yards. And I had a girl that I fucked. And she, about a week later, calls me up and wants to come over again. And I can tell you her first name. Her name was Kathy, and there's a million Kathys out there. So
not anymore. You can tell it was the '90s.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no girls born after 2010 named Kathy.
So on the second time she came over, she got too drunk. She liked wine. I had a big wine cellar. I'm not a wine drinker, but in order to be a pimp, you have to have a wine cellar. Yeah. I had a wine cellar, so she's out picking. I think she drank like a bottle and a half of wine, and we fucked. And she the next day goes home, does the walk of shame, wakes up, hungover, drunk. Goes back to her apartment, and her girlfriend says, where have you been all night long? And she says, I've been with Bubba the Love Sponge. And her girlfriend's like, well, what happened? And she was like, well, we fucked, and I got drunk, and the girl starts putting in her head, well, did he fuck you when you were drunk? And were you of sound mind? And did you really want to do it? And all this kind of shit. So I get a call from Kathy, and she's like, you know what? I don't know if I feel real good about what happened 2 nights ago. I think maybe you took advantage of me or, stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
I've been with you before. And, and now I didn't have any surveillance at that time. And so I get a hold of my agent. I tell him that this Kathy bitch is saying I may have been inappropriate, which I have never had that allegation against me ever. A lot of things I've done. That's not one of them. So he goes, listen, we're going to camera up your bedroom. And if you ever get in that situation, you'll be able to prove. You can tell consensual sex from non-consensual sex.
Yeah.
From a videotape. And he goes, bottom line is if it would ever come into play, it's a misdemeanor for recording somebody against their will.
Right.
And we would be able to prove
that it wasn't.
That it was consensual.
Yeah.
So here I am, a bachelor, fucking dollhouse bitches, just being the man, being 30-some-year-old multimillionaire. And I put surveillance in my bedroom. And that's why I did it. I wasn't in the next room looking. I wasn't in the corner jacking off.
Yeah.
It just. So then at that point,
at what point do you have to start getting girls to sign like NDAs?
I think now.
Yeah, I think so.
I think if you're a person of wealth,
there's probably super athletes out there who go to parties and bring a stack of NDAs.
I know of athletes that make girls sign NDAs.
I've heard stories too.
And with a driver's license, like take a picture of your driver's license and make you sign an NDA before they'll fuck you. So that's the world we live in.
But like, what would happen even if the girl did sign the NDA and she went out and just like told the world about it? Like, if they had nothing to lose, what would
much kind of like the Shannon Sharp deal. Like, how did that shit go down? Like, I felt like that girl kind of extorted him a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah. What was that story? It was his OnlyFans girl or something?
Yeah, it was OnlyFans girl. And, you
and he had been with her many times, right?
They were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
And they were into some kink shit. They were doing, like to each, like what consenting adults do in their bedroom, to each their own.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not involving animals and fucking kids,
exactly,
and shitting on somebody's chest and just some just crazy shit. If you're a swinger or you fucking whatever.
Well, it gets weird when you start to add the power dynamic to it. Like with the Harvey Weinstein stuff and with the Diddy stuff.
Yeah, when you're in a position of power and you're brokering sex for something else.
Yeah.
Now that's a problem.
Right. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be over the top brokering. It doesn't. It could be unsaid, unsaid, right? If you're a young girl, 17, even 16, whatever it is, and you're going to a Diddy party or a Harvey Weinstein party or whatever it is, and you're going there and sleeping with these guys, you're not just going there because you think these guys are attractive. You're going there because these guys are powerful and you got a shot of getting in on whatever they're a part of.
Right. So I'm not putting the blame on them by all means, but they're
not innocent.
They're putting themselves in a situation where some shit could go down.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy is never going to get the favorable ruling on that. No, ever.
No.
I mean, even if a girl, 17, 16, and her and her two little buddy girls were talking about it on the limo ride over, and the limo driver was able to testify, hey, they were strategizing,
right?
The guy would still go down.
Of course.
As he probably should. I mean, today's world is a different world than when, I was running livestock bitches and 12 boobs of Christmas.
Well, here's my problem with it. My problem with it is when all these celebrity parties with these girls going over there claiming, they were getting taken advantage of or molested or whatever. But these girls they're going there on their own will. It's not like they're dragged and handcuffed and put in a cage.
And they're not going to church.
They're going home at the end of the night and going back to the next party the next weekend.
Yeah,
and you start and you make this is what takes all the attention and everyone freaks out about it, but nobody talks about the fucking children who are trafficked to the tune of like hundreds of thousands all over the United States every single day by super powerful people and put into they're taken from foster homes, they're trafficked across the border and put into these trafficking rings.
Very influential, very powerful, untouchable people that are so powerful and so influential that nobody even fucking talks about it. Mm-hmm. And if you do talk about it, watch the fuck out. Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody talks about that. No. But it's a different world that we live in, and it's so easy to set up an influential guy nowadays that these athletes and other people, they have to have NDAs. I mean, here's what I hate is I hate when girl A of age 21, 22 fucks influential guy 15 years ago and like the Danny Matheson guy from that
Scientologist
from that 70s show. Now I don't know all of what happened, but I know it was like 10 years later. Mm-hmm. 10 years later, these girls came by or whoever came by and said, Danny Matheson fucked us dirty and whatever the fuck happened. Maybe they were underage. Mm-hmm. Man, I think that it's skewed so anti-men that I think that there needs to be some type of time. If a certain amount of years have gone by, and it wasn't a crime 10 years ago because you weren't worried about it. But this guy's now become popular or become famous or become rich. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. I got a problem with that. I don't know specifically what the Danny
sentenced to 30 years
to life. So let's say you're Danny Matheson and you're out you're living the Hollywood lifestyle of being on a hit show called That 70s Show, and you're fucking you're fucking you're fucking these hot little groupie bitches that are hopefully of age. I don't think his was anything to do with underage. I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it was just he fucked them.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to be fucked, I guess, 15 years later.
Right.
Which is bullshit. I mean, how can you say I didn't want to be fucked 15 years ago. But 15 years ago it was okay.
Right.
But I didn't say anything then. Mm-hmm. I didn't go and get a meet. Now listen, I don't want that to underscore women who get and didn't want it. And I hope that people, women or something like that, you immediately go and get it reported and get a kit and go to the cops and get that motherfucker, that sick fuck that did it to you, busted immediately. But for these people that wait 10 years, 15 years, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's hard to decipher whether they're telling the truth at that point, right? Because it sometimes just seems like a money grab. It's like, oh, hey, well, I fucked this guy fucking 15 years ago, and I didn't really want to, but I did.
So I was never going to get caught in that trick bag. So people often say, you kind of back to your original question, well, why'd you have surveillance? That's why I had it.
Right.
I had one little brush up, and I was ever. So then I'm getting ready to go through a divorce. So I rip out my whole fucking system. I take it to work. Okay. And I saved that file. I saved that file and burned it to disk. My bad. I did it. I've owned that I did it. I've never said that I didn't do that. And that was that's the biggest mistake that I've made in my life. I'm here today. I lost it all. I became public enemy number one because I didn't destroy that tape when I should have, which allowed it to be stolen, which allowed it to be shopped, which allowed it to end up doing what it did. And it ruined my life. It made Hogan rich. It ruined my life. And it caused Mike Calta to take my job. Who's the person who shopped it, by the way, and sent it to Gawker? It's just so fucking unfair. Till the day they put me in my...
Does he admit this now?
No.
Does he deny it?
I never knew that part, actually.
No.
But it's in all the court records.
Oh, it's irrefutable. It's in whatever.
And your documentary is the first time that this evidence has like actually been shown to the public.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Phone records, emails, addresses, an email from Mike Calta to his agent, Tony Burton, saying, where do I send the videotape? An address given,
Wow.
I know the UPS store off of State Road 41 that he shipped it from. I mean, that's how much due diligence we've done. And, again, I probably deserved what I got, but he certainly shouldn't still be, doing radio in Tampa, Florida for fucking 12 years thereafter. and at the tune of where his company had to write a $52 million check to save his ass. I couldn't survive a $755,000 fine from the FCC. How does he survive that? I have no idea.
Oh my God.
Other than if they fire him, then they admit that they did it. So that's the only thing that I could ever come up with. In my documentary, which comes out today on Google Play, Amazon, and Apple TV, Video Killed the Radio Star, really takes you. You've seen it. It takes you. I mean, when you watched it, did you know any of that shit?
No, I knew none of it.
Because you know why? That lawsuit settled. Cox versus Hogan settled. And never on Channel 13. Live, lead story tonight on Channel 13. The lawsuit that got settled. No, settled lawsuits just go away.
Right.
So that's what happened in my situation. Had Cox versus Hogan went to trial, all of the information basically in this documentary would have come out.
That's so crazy. And during that FBI sting, when Hogan was getting wired up to go to the Sand Pearl to meet with the people, the extortionists, Brooke was on your show. She said that Hulk told her
Hogan came back. He came back after the sting and said to Jennifer, his wife, and Brooke, his daughter, Bubba didn't have anything to do with the distributing or leaking of this tape. Bubba didn't do it.
So why didn't he try to at least repair the friendship with you? Or at least,
think,
did you ever try to reach out to him?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think public perception was, he didn't want people to think that if he acknowledged me or we became friendly again or I wasn't, public enemy number one, that people may have thought it was a work or it was a wrestling inside job and we did it together. And that's not the case. But he didn't want that chance of people saying or thinking that. So selfishly, he let me sit here and just fucking absolutely get my life destroyed and didn't give a fuck.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, and we were best friends. I mean, we were best friends.
You had in the documentary, there's the footage of your wedding where he's doing the speech and he's the best man, saying that you're the only person that he would trust with his kids.
Yes. He's the godfather of my son. He was the best man at my wedding. It's sad. It's sad because I wish I could have been there for him when he died. I wish I wasn't public enemy number one in his world, but I hope that my documentary, Video Killed the Radio Star, will give people that watch it the true perspective on what I did do and what I didn't do. And I forever get judged for what I didn't do. If you go and ask, and I said this last time, if you go and ask anybody in Tampa, hey, tell me about the Hogan sex tape. Well, his best friend Bubba taped it, tried to fucking extort him, tried to sell it, and, he's a piece of shit. Well, I did some of that, but not all of it, and I probably am not the piece of shit that you think I am.
Yeah, you definitely didn't get anything out of it.
No, it ruined my life. I mean, it ruined my life.
Hogan got a ton of money out of it.
$62 million all in. I mean, and listen to this. In his entire career, he never made more than $10 million in one fiscal year.
Really?
In his career, the most he ever made was between 10 and 12 million in 1 year. So,
and what was the peak, do you think, for
when
him?
he was with WCW?
What year would that have been?
99, 2000, 2001. Okay. He was probably making about 8 to 10 million.
Right.
I know that a couple times when we were working out, a couple of his pay-per-view checks would come in and they'd be like 1.2 million. And I'd never seen a check that big before. He'd be like, how many zeros are on there, brother? And I'd be like, I don't know, but a lot. I got the best story ever.
Look, I found a check under a candy bar.
So listen to this. Best story ever. He used to go in for these back injections called Firset injections. And the only place that he really thought did him well was this place in Beverly Hills. So we were best friends. So we would take the 6 o'clock in the morning Delta direct flight to LA. And we'd land like at 10 in the morning. He would go right to the hotel. He'd go right to the doctor. I'd go scrub in and be with him. And they didn't put him under, but they would put these injections in his back. Okay, these Firset injections, and they basically lasted him about 3 or 4 months where he had some relief. His back didn't hurt so bad. It was kind of like a lubrication. It was just kind of like putting a Band-Aid on his back problem. He really knew he needed back surgery, but he would do this for a while. So we're sitting in the Delta Crown Room in Tampa one morning. It's like 5:05. The plane loads like in 30 minutes, and he has like $300 cash on him. And he goes, I need some more money. So he gets his wallet out and he finds this beat up ATM card. And it's like scratched all up and stuff. And he goes, oh man, I forgot about this account. Linda doesn't even know about this account. And I know his PIN number, and I'm not going to say it on the air because it's also his house. Like it's the number that he used for everything in life, from his PIN to his house security number. So there's a certain number that.
Is this when he was living at Willowdale?
Yes, this is when he's living at Willowdale.
Okay.
So he goes, brother, Bubba, do me a favor, go down to the ATM and see if you can get, I don't know, 600. See if it might not be there might not be nothing in there.
Yeah.
But just get 600 if you can. So I get on there, I stick it in the machine, type in the fucking PIN code, and it says, it starts spitting it out, so I know I'm good for 6, and it says, do you want a receipt? Well, I'm like, well, fuck yeah, I want to know. Yeah, so I hit the fucking button.
Do you want to know the balance?
Yeah.
That's what it said. So I hit it, and it's... So I got it out, and I looked at it, and I was like... So I went over to the sunglass place that sold sunglasses. I said, can I borrow a pen? And they're like, sure. Because I wanted to fucking put the commas. There were so many zeros. I wanted to take it and do the commas.
They didn't put the commas in.
Well, no.
Wow.
I mean, they had 0.00 cents, but there was a whole bunch of fucking numbers. So I needed to comma it out.
Figure where it's at.
Yeah, I needed to figure.
Oh my God.
4.325 million.
In an account he didn't
that
even
he
know.
forgot about.
That he thought was dead. And he goes, did you get 6? And I go, oh yeah, I got 6. He goes, great. And I gave it back to him. I go, Terry, do you have any idea how much fucking money's in that account? And he goes, no, brother. 2 G's, 4 G's. I go, no, 4.2 million. He goes, fuck, don't tell Linda about that account. Linda never knew about. He had $4.2 million, and I was just like, "Oh my God!" So he hid that one. He kind of tucked that one behind his Social Security card.
And Linda went after him again after the Gawker case.
Oh, I think Linda got 40. I think Linda, for all perpetuity, gets like. Now I don't know about death, for as far as his estate. I don't think she gets shit. But I think she made 40%
of all that
of everything.
Wow.
way.
Yeah.
How
Right.
that was so because that happened during the marriage or during the divorce?
Because if you've been married in Florida more than 20 years, then this fucking ultra gimmick kicks in where you have to. Now I think DeSantis changed the law, but before Hogan, when Hogan obviously got divorced in 2007, it was called like injunctive relief alimony, where you had to provide somewhat the same type of lifestyle. After 20 years, you had to provide for your ex for
Maintaining that lifestyle
forever.
Oh my God.
Now that's been changed, but when he got divorced, it was, I think he's grandfathered in.
I just saw something on like Instagram. I saw something somewhere about this football player Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Where
I just saw it today.
It listed
He's
all
got
the
11
stuff
kids.
I know. He's got more kids than touchdowns.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
We said that on the air today. Yeah. And he's got, and did you see like he had to give like 150,000 down, and then he got like 40,000, and then he has 11 kids and one baby mama. I think all of them get 30, and then there's a bunch of kickers. Like, one baby mama gets like 100 grand, and one baby mama gets like 40 grand.
Well, one of them got like 50 grand a month just for lifestyle maintenance.
Yes. Just to maintain her lifestyle that she's accustomed to while living with that motherfucker.
And that was in Florida because he was
God,
living
I wish
in Miami.
I was hot and had a vagina.
Fucking A, man.
I'd just be fucking rich dudes. I'd be such a. I'd actually be skinny and in shape. I'd go to the gym every day, get some tits.
It's a great.
Get a pair of
Poor concrete
Diancos.
Willie over here
Look at
has to
him.
trowel concrete for a living.
Look at him.
Meanwhile, if he had a fucking hot pussy and a set of tits on him, think about how life easy would be for us. We actually got to work, and but if you're a hot chick, if you're a fucking one of these really really hot chicks, now you don't even have to go out.
Yeah,
and
but
now you just go start an OnlyFans.
They don't even got to be that hot anymore.
There's two sides to everything. On the other side of the coin, they only have a certain amount of time that's good for.
Sure.
I mean,
You can make
Girls'
enough
age
money
and
to
dog
live off
years
of, though.
compared to us.
I know that, but I mean, if you had your shit together, you're 18, 19, you're hot as fuck, you're doing yourself 3-4 times a week on OnlyFans.
Yeah, making $1 million a month.
Making $1 million a month. You need to, let's
You only need a
let's say you
couple years
time
of
out
that.
at 25, but you've made $1 million a month since you're 18, and you had somebody that was responsible enough to fucking keep you on track to not living like a fucking idiot.
Right.
You could really
Set for life.
Set for life. Set for life.
Yeah.
Retire at
Yeah, if
fucking
you play
22.
your cards right when you're young.
I actually have known, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, these strippers I would hang out with from the dollhouse and stuff that really did have their shit together.
Yeah.
And they drove Mercedeses and they lived in fucking, $3,000 or $4,000 a month fucking cribs, but they were making 20 grand a month stripping.
Yeah.
And they were actually,
had 3 bouses.
but they actually were buying rental properties
Yeah.
and, making investments and stuff like that. And these women are 50, 55 now, and they're set.
Yeah.
They stripped for 10 years. They didn't get caught up in the cocaine and all the fucking stripper drama. They actually had a mission. Most of them went through school and they made a lot of money. Now, I mean, you don't even have to be a stripper anymore. You don't even have to leave the privacy of your own home. You can just kick it out wide at home. Just fucking the shit out of
Kick it out wide.
Kick it out wide and the shit out of each other. Just fucking in there. Fucking crazy.
God, dude, Tyler's gonna have to censor the living shit out of this episode so we don't get nuked off YouTube.
Oh, really?
It's all right.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. This is the Bubba special. We can't be holding
You guys
back.
might not even have this thing edited in time for the release.
No, we'll have it fine.
See a fast editor.
Yeah, Tyler's.
You should have told me it was PG. I can go PG.
No, it's not PG. It's just like certain things.
The algorithm gets
YouTube
funny.
is like the FCC.
Oh, trust me, I play the YouTube game.
The YouTube game's tough.
Oh, and then you play 7 seconds of something, you don't think you'll get a copyright strike, and you get a copyright strike.
Well, not only the copyright stuff. The copyright stuff's easy to navigate. Just don't play videos because then you'll be fine, or music. But like the speech censorship is crazy. With like they'll find any excuse to demonetize or shut down a video for different reasons, for like saying the F-bomb too many times, talking about sexual stuff, saying the C word, the 4-letter C word. That'll get you nuked.
I got nuked with Dr. Diaco.
Talking about the vaccines will get you nuked.
So Dr. Diaco is a doctor. He's a doctor. And he was very aggressive on the ivermectin.
Yeah.
He was deoxycycline, zinc, kind of like what Joe was pushing, Joe Rogan, right on that same deal. And we're early on in COVID. Now, this isn't Joe Rogan. This isn't an expert. This is a doctor who is talking about the prescribing of medication to his patients.
Right.
And how it's working or not. 2-week ban. I was banned for 2 weeks for going against WHO guidelines because they were all about the shot and the vaccine.
On
happened to me.
And you couldn't but I was like, listen, this is a doctor.
Doesn't matter.
And this is his remedy to fight this disease, and he took the doctor oath to do good by your patients and try to make them better.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
Nope.
They did not care.
Nope. And there's nobody you can talk to. There's no jury you can go in front of. Nope. Just some freaking chick with pink hair sitting in her house getting paid to work remotely to flag videos.
Life.
Yep, exactly.
And probably men.
Yep, and you can send emails until you're blue in the face. No one's going to respond to them.
No.
They're not going to do anything. They don't care.
No.
And it's not like it's oh God, I don't know how you compare it to the FCC, because at the end of the day,
it's worse than the FCC, because the FCC, you have clear guidelines.
Right.
Like, you know
what
that you can't say tits. You know that you can't say shit. You know that you can, it's community guidelines, but you know the words you can't say. But even on regular radio, they weren't regulating talking about the vaccine or ivermectin. They weren't regulating any of that. The FCC. So if it's good by broadcast standards,
even during COVID, they weren't.
No,
really,
no. Now some companies were. But I'm an independent. When I on the terrestrial stations that I'm heard on, I'm an independent contractor. I don't work for that company. I just license my show to them. So I don't work for Cox, or I don't work for iHeart. I work for the Bubba Radio Network.
Right.
So some companies had, like iHeart, and they had policies, but nobody could tell me what I could say.
Yeah, the crazy thing about YouTube and Google, which owns YouTube, is that they make a lot of their money from the pharmaceutical companies, and the pharmaceutical companies are the ones that control all this stuff.
Did you know this? That CBS, the pharmaceutical companies during the COVID deal, got so creative that they didn't want to, during the CBS evening news and during things like that, they didn't want to actually run the go get the shot commercial. Or that, although they did, Pfizer or whatever, go get the shot, Moderna, vaccine. So they went to CBS and said, we don't want to advertise in between when you do news and then you go to your 3-minute commercial break and then you come back. We don't want to be in that 3-minute commercial break as a shot. We want the news stories
to talk about it,
to be about us. And so they would show this file footage of completely jam-packed operating rooms that weren't really jam-packed. They were B-roll footage from some other disaster, and they would show ventilators and all this stuff and make the COVID way more than it really was. And so instead of buying advertisers, they would buy story placements. So CBS would make the story about COVID.
Right.
And it was always, pro-vaccine, this and this, ventilator, this and this. And so they got creative, and they actually spent 30% more money that way than just the regular advertising way.
Yeah. It's so crazy. It's sickening. And the crazy thing about it is Google and YouTube, they don't need to do the bidding of these companies. They own a monopoly on advertising across the globe.
Right.
They even if you told those companies, no, get effed, like we're not going to follow your rules that you want to impose, I don't think those pharmaceutical companies would have any leg to stand on. They would say, okay, like, where else are you going to go? There's nowhere else to go to advertise but Google and YouTube.
Well, but here's the deal. It's all California based. It's all woke. It's all highly blue liberal. You know, it's I think the majority of the Google and the YouTube and the Meta and all that, the majority of the problem you have is where they're based out of, where their management comes from, where they live, how the lifestyles that they live. I mean, you know, people in California are way different than us guys here in Florida. I mean, go to Grady Judd in Polk County and rob $940 worth of stuff at Walgreens and watch how fast you're eating cement.
Right.
And then go to San Francisco and do it, and you probably won't get charged.
Right.
That's the difference.
It's crazy.
It's like I said about Joe Rogan, the best thing he ever did was get the fuck out of California, and he was one of the very first. So, I mean, California's a shit show.
Well, Gavin Newsom's trying to he's trying hard right now to like revive his image, and he's trying to like slowly tiptoe out of that woke camp and trying to like be more middle of the road, be more of like a guy's guy. And have you been noticing what he's been doing with his interviews and going on all these big podcasts and stuff like this?
Right. I mean, he might be the only chance they have. I don't know. I mean, you know, here's the problem. You could see when the Democratic Party was grooming Barack Obama. You could see it when they brought him out at the Democratic National Convention during, I think it was during the Bush second term, and he was this fresh-faced senator out of Chicago. And Barack Obama wasn't that bad. I mean, Barack Obama did some good stuff. You know, he wasn't so far woke and so far left. You know, he was still a bona fide Democrat. He was a Democrat right here, Democrat. Well, the problem is they were grooming him to be somebody. The Democratic Party's in such shambles now. Who's their Barack Obama? Who are they grooming?
Candace Owens.
I mean,
I think she could be the next one, bro.
The problem is, here's a Democratic Party. Just like Elon Musk said.
Elon
Musk, just like Elon Musk said, is he used to be here with the Democratic Party right here.
Yep.
Well, now the Democratic Party is here.
Yeah.
And it could survive here, but it's way over here. Whereas the Republicans, and they're just as guilty with their evangelical anti-abortion bullshit. I mean, it's just they both have gone so far one way that guy that's stuck there in the middle. You know, we're the ones that make the most sense, but we aren't necessarily the ones that are people that are in making any decisions, or, you know, I mean, we're just fucking stupid streamers and podcasters. We're not politicians. So you got to be one way or the other. And, you know, I don't know. We could sit here and talk politics all night, but I would rather not, because it's not fun. And it's so fucking polarizing, you know?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And it's like like what you're describing it's like the horseshoe theory, where when you get to the extreme right and the extreme left, you come together. Right. You know, it's like the bootlegger and the Baptist
thing. Here's the deal. You know what? Like, okay, I believe in guns. I believe that you should be able to take your 18-year-old girlfriend to the abortion clinic smoking a joint with your handgun.
Yeah. Yep.
And that covers it all. That's pro-gun. That's right. That's pro-abortion, which is left, right? I don't know where marijuana stands in that. I don't know who's more. Probably the left is probably more pro-marijuana than right. Yeah. So, you know, I believe in abortion, weed, and handguns, and I think that's the way most Americans are.
Definitely.
But we're the minority. But we're really not. We're really the majority. Yeah. And it's just these fringe.
We don't realize it because it's only lives on the internet.
Right. And you get these fringe, like trans. Let's talk about trans.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect anybody in this room. It doesn't affect anybody that I know. It doesn't affect anybody that I associate with. And if a person wants to do that, great. Let them go ahead and do that. Let them But there should only be one rule. They should have to be an adult. When you're 18 and you want to cut off your wiener, go ahead. If you're 18 and you want to get a set of boobs, go ahead. If you're 18 and you want to attach a wiener, go ahead. But you got to be 18.
Yeah.
You can't be like in California where their law is if you're a kid, you can hide it from your parents of what you want to become and tell your teacher, and your teacher will
hide it from
your
the
teacher
kid.
can hide it from your parents. Fundamentally, man, that's just not cool no matter how you slice it, no matter what political party you are in.
Yeah, I think that's the symptom of empire in decline.
Do you know how badass of a softball player I would have been on the Warsaw girls softball team? I mean, I was a pretty badass football player, but I would have been hitting dingers. I would have been Bubba Bonds if I was playing against bitches back in 1984. I would have just been fucking driving them out. I mean, so that's what you can do now in some states. Hey, I'm backup Jones when I play with the boys, but I'm fucking All-Star Willie. I'm All-Star Willie when I'm playing. I'm Martha McGuire when I'm playing
fucking Mark McGuire with a wig on.
And that's what some of these states allow.
The crazy thing too is how like a lot of the crazy trans activist people are now really into violence and guns and stuff like this. Have you seen them wearing the shirts with like the machine guns on them?
And you look at the school shooters.
Yeah.
And there's a percentage of them that are either have transitioned, were transitioning, were into it, had books on it,
Yeah.
So it's just like.
And the recent one, the guy who shot up the
kids,
he was trans.
The Christian or the Catholic Church or whatever it was,
and had that whole manifesto.
And he regretted it. He wanted to go back to. He was like,
he wished he never did it.
Right. And it's just like I don't know. It just these fringe topics that we talk about that make the news really don't affect any of us.
No,
None.
it's the Wawa.
But it's what divides us all.
My friend Julian has this great theory he lives in New Jersey. He calls it the Wawa theory. He's like, you live on Twitter all day and you think that the world's going up in flames. Everyone wants to kill. The trans people are shooting up everyone. The Nazis are marching down the street on this street and everything's going up in smoke. But you step up from the computer, drive your car to Wawa, and you see the fat chick with green hair holding the door for the Vietnam veteran.
Yeah.
The
problem is most people are recluse and they're living. Remember how we were talking about earlier about the metasphere and how we could be the mayor of
right.
That's
the
kind
problem
of the world that, when we were kids, we had our bikes and we were out late until the street lights came on and we were out there just, making forts and trying to find our dad Playboy books and shit like that. But I would ride over to Danny's house or Danny would come over to my place and I didn't have to talk to him through a headset or anything like that. And that's why the younger generation can't date efficiently, because they don't know how to talk to. They don't. Some of them are homeschooled, so you don't even go to school with girls or boys, boys, girls. You don't really know how to talk or interact because everything you do is electronically. Now let's add on the other fuck with factor, and that is AI. I mean, where are we headed there? I mean, I asked AI to tell me about Bubba the Love Sponge, and it wrote something better than any publicist I could have ever paid written. It wrote everything. I mean, from my hog deal to the Hogan scandal to everything. I mean, it wrote everything. And I was like, I couldn't have paid accurately.
In fucking 10 seconds.
In 14 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was better. I've had publicists before, and they're usually about $2,500 a month when you're really rolling hard. And there's no publicist that could have written something that accurate about me. It's like,
fucking crazy.
Making people lazy. You don't have to do the work anymore. You don't have to think.
You
they make it so you don't have to use your brain anymore. You don't have to do anything.
Not only that, but where does it come? Where do we start? Have you guys seen? It was on Netflix called Companion. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, it's about this guy, and he orders a artificial intelligent girlfriend named Ivy, and she's like,
"This is a real documentary, or is this fiction?"
Oh, it's fiction.
Oh, okay.
It's fiction.
A movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
But it's fiction.
Okay.
But it's I don't think we're that far off from it. And so
well, have you seen Her? Spike Jonze's movie Her?
No.
With Joaquin Phoenix?
No.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's the original one.
He does
oh my
the
God,
exact
that's one of
same
my
thing.
favorite movies of all time.
Falls in love with an AI.
Yeah, this I think Her came out in like the early 2000s, Steve.
Oh, so way ahead of this.
Yeah.
So
I could be
Companion,
wrong.
this guy has this hot ass bitch, and he even went in and set up how they met, where they met at. Wow. He set it up. He set it up.
Oh, 2013.
He set it up that they met at the grocery store, and they started flirting with each other, and then they fell in love, and then they went to this weekend getaway, and it from there it just turns in. Then there's this gay guy, and he orders a gay AI robot, and you can on your phone determine, you can fix determine. And so Ivy, the guy who owned Ivy, now she fucks and she does it all. I mean, she looks, but you can put her intelligent level, from dumb to smart. So there she is right there.
Oh, wow.
And
that looks creepy.
somehow she turns against him, and she grabs his phone, and he has her as dumb at 40%, and she jacks herself up to 100%, so she can outsmart the motherfucker, and she outsmarts him and ends up killing him.
No
Yeah,
way.
it's so great.
Wow.
It's so great. Oh yeah.
There's so many good movies based on this exact premise.
But how? I mean, I don't think we're that far from
No,
that.
I don't think so either. No, we're getting closer.
At all.
We're getting
I mean,
closer, and it's ramping up even
I think
more.
maybe in our life, I'll probably die before you, Danny, because you're on roids. But I'm just saying.
Bubba, I'm not on roids. You're on roids. You and Concrete Clem over here are on
I'm
roids.
on fat roids. You're on bodybuilding roids. I'm just saying,
please.
probably in my lifetime, but I think in your lifetime, you're going to have to deal with, am I talking to a real person or am I talking to a fucking robot? Mm-hmm. I really do. I think that, I mean, who would have thought the advancements we've made in the last 10 years? Just think of the advancement we've made in electronic cars and space travel and just these AI now that, the AI that they have out now that are getting pretty damn, pretty damn fluid, if you will.
Well, I mean, for sure on Instagram, I get tricked every day with videos that I think are real that are AI.
Absolutely.
It looks insanely.
Think about this. You're 38. I'm 59. I'm oldest. I'm a boomer compared to you.
Right.
So I get tricked double the amount of times.
Right.
I mean, there's so many times I'll come up with a story and my producers will be like, Bubba, that's AI. And I'm like, oh, shit. I feel real stupid, because I thought it was for real. I mean.
Yeah, it happens every day, man. It's crazy. It's everywhere.
That's the next thing.
I got to take a leak real quick.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. We're back from words.
We're back from words.
What were we talking about? AI? We're talking about
sex
robots,
AI.
technology, and AI.
Let's talk about your new studios. You've been telling your fans about that at all?
No, we haven't talked about it at all, really.
Really?
But we're moving in soon. We're trying. Well,
What's your move-in date?
we
Because
don't have a date.
my move-in date is hopefully March 1 of next year.
for
my new studios.
you already got your new place?
Yes,
Oh,
I got my
wow.
new place.
And you're building it out right now.
building it out right
Okay.
now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
see, you got to understand, my studio was made for terrestrial radio.
Right.
Like, you've been in there
You've been in that building for how long?
since 10.
Whoa.
Prior to that, I was in another building not too far down the road, which was much smaller, much kind of like this.
Okay.
And then I bought that big place that had upstairs down where I am now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I have goats out back and,
Yeah.
and all that. But so I'm in the process of kind of downsizing, and you're in the process of upsizing.
Yeah.
But today's world is the amount of equipment that you don't need compared to what you did need.
Right.
When I was rolling hard back in 2011 when I bought that place, I mean, you needed, just the amount of equipment. Our rack room is the size of this whole room, for equipment and mic processing, and everything has become more simpler and easier to do now. That we don't need a stage, we don't need a shower, we don't need a bar, we don't need a stripper pole. We don't need any of that anymore because I don't got strippers in there pissing in coffee cans and doing the stuff that I used to do. That not because I don't want to do. You couldn't do what I used to do anywhere unless it was OnlyFans. Back when I used to have the strippers in there and we would do drag racing and we would do,
Hell yeah.
What was drag racing?
Well, now that you ask, is you take two girls and you put them on a couch and you put towels underneath them, and some girls can squirt and some girls cannot. And you have time and distance. So you say, ready, go. And they start
Take care of themselves.
taking care of themselves. And the one that's the first is the winner for the speed. And then you have a distance one. And there's a girl that we had that could from here to that screen.
Whoa.
And I'm not kidding you. She won the distance.
No shit.
And this was all on film.
Yeah, I got it on film. I have all this on film.
And this was allowed to be on radio. The FCC didn't care.
Oh, no. That was on Sirius XM.
Oh, Sirius XM. Okay.
When we had a Sibian, a monkey rocker, we had literally, we would have girls with strap-on
Wow.
having sex with each other
Oh my God.
while giving oral to 25 Cent, the black guy. And you wonder why I can't get guests.
At 7 a.m.?
No, that was like at 4 p.m. We were afternoon drive. We weren't waking people up with that. My most famous contest in Tampa ever, and I'm thinking about bringing it back, was the 12 Boobs of Christmas, where I gave 12 sets of tits away to flat-chested women every Christmas.
Right.
And
I remember that.
we couldn't do that anymore because Dr. Diaco's competition called, and the Board of Health, the Board of Medicine, the Board of Doctors or whatever, and made it illegal to have a contest on the radio. And so we couldn't do it anymore because Dan would get 1,000 women that would sign up for a pair of boobs, and then only 12 would win, but the other 980 would
Still
get
wanted some titties.
no, they would get coupons for 25% off.
Smart.
Well,
So they're getting them anyway.
so we would do like 50 finalists, and 12 won, and then the other 38 would get
Get a BOGO.
like literally 50% off.
Wow.
So that's like Dan's cost. That's about his cost.
Right.
And then the other 925 would get 25% off. So a $5,000 boob job back in the day, now all of a sudden it's $3,500, and he couldn't book them fast. I mean, he would literally be doing 25 boob jobs a week, and the next doctor in Tampa would be doing 6.
How many could you possibly do in a day?
He can do 1 in 52 minutes.
One pair.
What's the most he's done in a day? Do you know?
I think the most he's ever done in the day is 8.
Whoa. 8 sets?
8 sets.
16
You gotta understand.
I guess
though,
you're never doing one.
But you understand. He would when we would do this contest. He would you can look at a girl, and if she's a little bit older, and you have to do a little lipo here to get that one to do. He would pick the best candidates,
Right.
That he could do the quickest and have 0 complications.
Right.
So he was the doctor that was picking out the winners, because he would, as part of the entrance, you would have to take a picture of and it was private, but you'd have to submit a picture to the doctor with your shirt off, so he knew it was a medical file.
Right, sure.
So
HIPAA.
Yeah, so you would take a picture of your shirt off, so he could get an idea what you had stock, and he would be able to, if a girl had him just drooping down, and he would stay away
That's
from
going to
that.
be an expensive lift kit.
Right. You need a lift kit on that.
Right.
So he get that 20-year-old who hasn't had a kid, who's just got a really good, nice set of natural boobs, like a 32B natural that wanted to jack him up to a 34C, and he would pick those. So he could get them done, and he could do a boob job in an hour. Whereas if you get you get a mom who's had a couple kids, and she has to have a little nip tuck, he has to kind of navigate them differently when you got, there's different levels of what you have to do, like sometimes you have to take a little liposuction here to make it set right and stuff like that. So he wouldn't take any of those cases at all.
Yeah, you don't want to have to worry about putting a brand new suspension on like a 95 day.
Right. You just want to put new wheels on it and let it roll.
Right.
So I mean, but then one of the things about the 12 Boobs of Christmas was, after you got your titties, you would have to come to the studio and show us. So that was part of the deal. So we, 6 months later, after these girls got
I can see how that could go south.
But then I also I had 2257's consent forms and all these chicks, and where I kicked myself in the ass is I was going to come up with a yearly calendar with the 12 girls each month and would sell like a Hooters calendar, but it was going to be a Bubba Army calendar with all these topless bitches. But I missed a lot of money there.
I think that you probably could have gotten in a lot of trouble too. They probably would have come after you.
No,
for
they could not. My 2257
was rock solid.
Rock solid.
Wow.
To the point where it said, I can even sell your image. I own your image. The image that you're submitting to me, I own, and I can sell and repurpose it in any way I want. Chicks will sign anything for new tits.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
That's true. What happened with the story that you haven't told, which I think is a interesting story, is about the hog, the slaughtered hog. What was this? What year? That was when you were doing the Power Pig.
Yeah,
I went on trial. They put me on trial for that,
and that was
I was facing 5 years in prison for that.
That was your first big lawsuit.
No, I had one from a state trooper that I called. Some guy. I was with the Power Pig back in the day, and we were going down to Kentucky Fried Chicken in Bradenton to hand out free chicken boxes to the homeless. And we were doing something good, and I'm on the Power Pig van going about 90 on the
You gotta make it funny. You gotta do it at KFC.
Well, no, they were our sponsor.
Oh, okay.
So they were it was in conjunction with
That's
it was in
so
conjunction
fucking
with
funny.
Yeah, it was like it was with Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we'd already done it like in Largo and Lakeland.
Didn't you get sponsored by Yaya's?
I was sponsored by Yaya's. Whatever happened to them?
We were talking about that the other day.
Is there still
the
one
mashed potatoes and gravy and the freaking chicken?
The ranch dressing, the buttermilk ranch dressing.
Oh my God!
I probably have 50 pounds just because of that.
I'm salivating right just thinking about it.
Is there still one on 4th? Did they close it down?
I don't know.
I thought they closed them all down, man. But
I think there's one up in Dunedin that we found, but that was
but that used to be an old Long John Silver's, and it was kind of shitty. But yes, oh my God. So anyway, I was driving the Power Big Fan, and I was speeding on the Skyway, and they had the aircraft up, and they were timing you that way. So I got pulled over, and this old cop came up and started fucking with me, and of course I got a ticket. And of course, I just didn't get on the air that night and say I got stopped by a lovely police officer. I just drug him through the mud like you wouldn't believe. That was my first lawsuit. Called him an old grandpa. He had a Geritol drip and all that kind of stuff. He took me to court, and I won. That was my first one. Then my second one was a hog deal. And we had a thing called Roadkill Barbecue, and it was for Marilyn Manson or Metallica tickets. And we wanted people to go get roadkill, like possum and raccoon and squirrel, things that had been hit by cars. And we were going to barbecue them and make listeners eat them for concert tickets. So it was going great. We had a plan for a Friday, and all of a sudden at 5 a.m, this hunter calls in. He's a professional hunter and trapper. He's got a Florida license, and people paid this guy $500 to take wild feral hogs off of their property because those wild feral hogs are they will root up your entire lawn. So they would call him as a professional hunter to come and kill these hogs and take them off their property. So he calls us up at 5:30, 30 minutes before the show starts, and says, hey, I know you guys are doing Roadkill Barbecue today, but what if I bring a hog? I got a real live hog I just trapped, and I'll kill him right there in the parking lot. The humane way to kill him. There's three ways you can kill a hog: with a bow and arrow, with a gun, or you can slice its neck. Well, we couldn't use a bow and arrow or a gun because we're in city limits. So the hogs, the hunter sliced.
So he brought you the hog live.
Brought us the hog live. And so that was mistake one. So we call the Florida Fish and Wildlife Emergency Hotline, and we get a hold of a real game warden, and we tell them we're located at 4002 Gandy, and we have a professional hunter that wants to kill a hog, and we want to eat it. We want to barbecue it. He said, well, you need to cut its throat. And if you'd like for it to be less gamey, for the meat to be less gamey, then you, right before you kill it, you cut off its testicles, and then you slit its throat. Okay. That way, if you slit its throat and it still has its testicles, it gets a testosterone surge and taints the meat.
Interesting.
So the hunter did it. We're live on the air, raising hell.
Yeah.
So couple of saleswomen call the cops, and the cops show up. They look at the state statute book. We did it according to the state statute. Now, it was distasteful, and I would never do that ever again. It makes me cringe today because I love animals. I'm not a hunter or anything like that. But we didn't do anything wrong.
That's what you would do even if you weren't rolling the cameras or on air, right? That's the way you would do it.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And so we did it. We didn't waste any of the meat. The hog didn't die for entertainment purposes, and we threw the carcass in the back. We ate it. We had barbecue that day for all the 150 fans that were there, and they organized with the state attorney and said it was felony animal cruelty for entertainment purposes. There is no state statute about that, and they arrested me and put me on trial, and I was in front of a jury trial. They deliberated for a week. We were able to present 4 or 5 expert witnesses, veterinarians and hunters that said that we did it the correct way. The state wasn't able to produce any witnesses because they couldn't find anybody who said it was distasteful and it was crude and it was shocking. That's the shit that I do, but it wasn't illegal. Right. And in a jury deliberated for 52 minutes while the state served them ham sandwiches for lunch, needless to say. And I was cleared of that. Otherwise, I was facing 5 years in prison. And so that was probably one of the most scarier things that I've did. And you know what? Crazy. Thinking about it now, and it was really not cool. I'm now a member of PETA. I'm a member of PETA. And
you're a vegetarian, vegan, which is commendable.
I eat red meat. I was trying to find a McDonald's on the way here. I ended up stopping at the Subway down the street, but I was not late. I was 1 minute before I was supposed to be here.
You were.
And but I ate Subway on the way here. But no, I'm not a vegetarian, but I am a member of PETA because I don't believe in being cruel to animals or anything like that. And so yeah.
Such a crazy fucking story. You and Howard were like the most persecuted radio personalities
absolutely
ever. And that was part of what made you guys so fun. Because you guys were always getting in trouble with the law, and you guys were always talking about it, talking shit about the politicians who were doing corrupt shit in your towns.
One of the biggest troubles I ever got was Mark Ober. There was a guy, I forget what the kid's name was. He was 15 years old, and there was Jesse Hargrove and another kid. Were 16 and 17. They lived in Gibsonton, and they took this 15-year-old boy out. They lived in a trailer park, imagine that, from Gibsonton. And they took this boy out of his house, took him down to the creek. They had sex with him and shot him in the back of the head and killed him execution style. These two, a 16 and a 17-year-old were the bad guys, and the 15-year-old was the victim. Oh. Well, Mark Ober gets on and starts saying that he's going to try these two kids as juveniles. And there's a law in Florida that if a crime is so heinous, if you're 16 or 17, the judge can bump, or the state attorney can bump it up to an adult crime. Mm-hmm. It was a difference between them doing like 5 years in prison or life in prison. So Mark Ober chose to prosecute them as juvies. And I flipped out on 98 Rock. I had everybody send, at that time, remember faxes when you had a fax machine? Yeah. I burned up 2 or 3 fax machines within the state attorney's office, and Mark Ober made it his personal vendetta to fuck with me for the rest of my, and to this day, to the rest of my career in Tampa. I always had that Mark Ober shadow over me. I just had an employee extort. I just had an employee embezzle $200,000 of my business, and I fired him. And the state attorney, because it was me, refused to prosecute because I allowed him to say goodbye on the air, and I didn't make an example out of him. I let him go because he was a friend, but I still wanted him arrested. And I allowed him to say goodbye. I didn't tell the fans necessarily.
How long ago was this?
2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
2 years ago. And it went through the state attorney's office, and because I didn't get on the air and say, hey, this piece of shit stole $200,000 from me, instead I let him get on the air and say, I'm moving on, because I didn't want to, I tried to be a good guy for once.
Yeah,
I tried to actually be a good guy. And the state attorney used me being nice against me and said, well, it looks like you didn't really care, or that you kind of knew about it, and they chose not to press charges because it's me.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, just like the no file on the Hogan sex tape.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't file. They never filed charges on the people that stole it.
Mm-hmm.
They never filed charges on the people that extorted Hogan. They never filed charges on the people that distributed it. None of that, because it was me. I mean, Mike Calta punched my girlfriend and my fiance in the face at a public event 2 years ago.
What?
Punched her in the face, took her phone from her, punched her in the face, and because she's my fiance, they didn't press charges, and they told her that she's lucky she didn't go to jail because she was the aggressor. She's 5'1", 105 pounds.
Oh my God.
Oh, there's video of it. I wish you could see it.
Really?
Yeah, I wish you could see
On
it.
YouTube?
Yeah, there's video of it.
How does he search for it?
Type in, go to my channel, which is the Bubba Army, and then just type in Mike Calta, and wait till you see what he did to her. She walked up to him at a personal appearance. He was at a personal appearance at a Shark Coast Tactical, and she walked up because nobody's ever asked this question, and she had her phone, and she said, Mike Calta, can I ask you a few questions? And he's like, sure, come on in, welcoming her in a public. Keep on going down, 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 right up. Let me see. Here we go.
That's it? 2 years ago?
So, wait till you see this. And
I was joking. I said, tackle her. Come, be my friend. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
so she's
Full
asking.
screen.
She's asking him.
He looks drunk.
Yeah, so you can see he's really nice. He doesn't know who she is, so he thinks he's going to get some ass. Thinks it's some groupie, and so she asks him questions about the sex tape.
Okay.
Right? I mean, and
And everybody can learn something.
Perfect.
you can fast forward it a little bit. I'd say I'd fast forward it maybe.
Tell me what you like.
Yeah, about right there. About right there.
Okay.
Where is the lie?
I understand that.
But answer my question. Where is the lie?
Okay, so you're admitting that you did that. I understand.
It's in court record.
Okay.
So wait till
but
you see.
where is the lie?
Danny, wait till you see this.
You haven't said that.
And guess what?
But
They-
that's not a lie.
You said
They were
that
gonna
you're
arrest
telling
her.
all the truth.
I've
You
not,
never-
just watch
you
this.
never
I've not
said
been able to
anything
tell
about
anything.
that.
I'm under a gag order. So when
Under
did
a
I
gag
ever
order.
say that? If you can show me one time where I said I've told everything,
It starts getting real
then
good
I'll
here.
tell you I'm
Starts
right.
getting real
I have
good.
not been able to talk about anything.
Okay. All right. Next
So admit that
question.
you're wrong.
I admit that I'm wrong on that.
Okay,
If you're
look at the
admitting to
camera
that.
and put it in your face. And, no, your face.
So
I admit
she-
that in this case, he's
So
admitting that
he makes
did
her
this, and
admit
you're
that she's
not
wrong
right.
about a certain aspect.
You forwarded an email.
So put that on. camera.
Okay, I
But
got
you're
that.
not being truthful.
Next,
But you're
okay.
not being truthful.
Let's talk about September
You're not
27th.
being truthful with yourself. I'm being
Okay.
completely honest with you.
Let's
but
talk
now
about
you're not
the-
interested in the truth.
I am.
This is when it
interested in
starts
the truth.
getting
Let's
real
talk about
good.
September 27th when your agent
Can I answer
checked
that? Who are you? And why would I waste my time
We're
talking
not.
to you about
Don't
this?
try
I've
to
done more than
deter.
enough.
Don't try to deter the facts.
I'm not
okay?
deterring any facts.
They're in public.
Yeah.
At a personal appearance.
You are.
Okay.
I love this.
Okay. I love this too. The next
You are
one.
the ultimate-
When you.
This is what makes him flip
I
out.
am?
Yeah.
This
What
makes
about
him
when
flip
you-
out. The
You were
question
already
she
wrong
asked
in the first
makes him
place.
flip
How
out
about when you got
because
the-
this is
when you- what
this
about
is
on
his
September
attorney
27th,
instructing
when
him
your
where to send the
agent,
tape.
Tony Burton-
This is his
Yes,
attorney
and 2
telling
weeks
him where to
before
send the
Hogan
sex tape.
tape was
Okay.
released
So
to Gawker,
watch.
Your agent sent you Gawker's address to send the tape. You asked him. Nothing yet. On September 27th at 4:54
So at that point, he's telling the security,
you asked
let
your
her go,
agent
let her go.
I asked
Nothing
my
yet.
agent?
You asked,
What did I ask him?
You asked him nothing yet, and then he replied.
What was that about?
He replied. In his reply, it
Because
was
you're
obviously
making an
about.
assumption what you think you know what it
Okay.
was about.
And within.
Danny, you're
making
gonna
an
flip
assumption.
out when you see this. This is the world that I live in. This is the world that I live in.
Care of Gawker,
Uh-huh.
210 Elizabeth Street, New York, and where to send the tape. So you're telling me 2 weeks before Gawker got the tape, and your agent gives you the address? You didn't send the tape?
I've never sent a tape.
You
Never
got
sent
the
the tape.
address from your agent to send the tape.
You have no idea what that was about.
Okay, what else were you going to send to Gawker?
You have no idea.
You're
You know
just
how many
lying.
other things
You
I've done
act
with
like a
Gawker?
tough guy on the radio all the time. Saying
So he's got, she's got him here.
Yeah.
She's got him.
And you're wrong, but you don't want to admit it. So I don't know what more you want me to do.
Are you admitting that you got the address for Gawker from your agent?
I don't. No, I did not.
You admitted the other email.
Yeah, because the other email was true.
This is from
You're
Mike
assuming
Calta.
you know what that's about.
Okay,
You're assuming you
so
know
your
what that's
agent
about.
gave you Gawker's address 2
Can I
weeks
ask you a
prior.
question? How pathetic is your life that you're here fighting this fight?
How pathetic
Honestly,
is your
how
life?
pathetic-
that
Now watch
you are
this.
My
still-
life is not pathetic. Look, turn around, look at these people. Turn around, turn
Watch
your
this.
camera
Boom.
around.
He grabs her
These
phone.
people
Stop
are
it.
here.
Stop it. Stop
Yeah.
it. Stop it. Stop
I don't
it.
give a
Pause.
shit that you don't have permission.
Stop it. So he grabs her phone, which is grand theft. He grabs her. He makes first contact. He grabs her phone, and now he's videotaping the entire, the entire place.
Right.
But he took her phone from her.
Yeah.
Okay. Now continue on. It's almost over.
To film me anymore. All right. So
And
we're
she
gonna
says-
stop this. How pathetic is your life that you're here
Recording
fighting this
someone.
fight? Honestly, how pathetic? My life is not pathetic. Look, turn around, look at these people. Turn around, turn your camera around.
shows her-
These
Oh, he just
Strong-
takes her phone.
Yep. Strong arm robbery by sudden snatching. You don't have permission to take my phone.
You don't have permission to film me anymore. All right. Stop this.
Now watch this. So she tries to get her phone back.
Back away from me or I'll kick the out of you. Back away.
I'm gonna what?
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you.
Back away.
Watch this.
If you don't back away from me, you just gotta turn out. Get out. They'll do it outside.
Watch this. He takes and erases. He erases her phone. He's going through her phone right now. She reaches over his shoulder to grab her phone. Now watch this. Look at this. Watch his hand right on her face.
Yeah, just mush her right
Just
out of there.
mushed her.
That's fucked.
Ugh.
And
That sucks.
then sends her outside, erases 2 of the videos off of her phone, and sends her phone back out there. The cops come, Mirandize him, reading his rights. He makes one phone call, and the cops leave. And the case gets dropped. And the cops tell her, you're lucky he doesn't press charges because you were the aggressor when you went to get your phone. And the Florida state statute states if I take your phone from you,
Yeah.
let's say this is your phone, I take this from you, you have the right to exert a certain amount of energy to get this back. Now, you don't have the right to punch me in the mouth,
Right.
but you can be like, man, give me my phone back. And that's the world that I live in. He didn't get prosecuted because this is in Sarasota.
Right.
They found out who her fiance was. That's the Bubba factor right there.
That's how much they hate you.
And that motherfucker is the morning drive guy who shopped the tape and has been doing mornings for 12 years. Right there. Right the fuck there.
Bananas, man. What a fucking crazy world.
What a bunch of fucking bullshit. And what did I do to be the bad guy? Like you said earlier, I held people accountable. I would bust politicians' balls.
Right.
I would stick up for the guy that was out there fucking painting like you.
Right.
I was the man's man, the people's hammer. And you do that long enough, then you become
The villain.
eventually. I got canceled. I got canceled before cancel was a thing.
Fucking wild, man. And the story, the documentary lays it all out perfectly. With all the evidence.
So you watched it. Other than being a little bit long, did you like it?
Oh yeah, I thought it was amazing.
I mean, and to think that they used it to try to take a hack at Trump.
Yeah, that's crazy too. I love how you had
That's a
Roger
crazies.
Stone come in there.
Yeah, Roger Stone did a great job. I tried to get Tucker, but I couldn't coordinate with Tucker because I've had Tucker on my show for years.
Oh yeah,
He used to be on there all
always
the
have
time,
Tucker.
man.
And you know the thing about Tucker?
I used to love Tucker on there.
I had Tucker on Tucker Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And,
Tucker
and this
Tuesdays.
was for 6 years.
Yeah.
And this really, I've not really ever talked about this, but I'm really upset in the fact that when Tucker got fired from MSNBC and he was just a small contributor on Fox and Friends in the morning, 2 or 3 times a week. I used to have Tucker on when he had no platform at all, none, no more MSNBC, nothing. And we had Tucker Tuesdays, and it was great. And now Tucker won't have me on. He just
Have you talked to him?
Yeah, I've tried, and he just like not no, basically no.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and like I was just like, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do or have I done to make even Tucker not like me?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, I know that there was a place called Media Matters, and when he was with Fox, they went and subscribed to my BubbaArmyHQ.com, which has all my archives of everything I've ever done. And this company called Media Matters went, and there's a pretty extensive search engine on Bubba Army HQ where you could type in literally, Matt Cox, and it would show you the show that Matt was on. Well, the Media Matters paid for a membership. It's like $9.99 a month, and they went and downloaded all 168 shows that Tucker was on, and then they cherry picked it. And kind of made a worst of Tucker tape. That's when he was really, really big on Fox, when he was huge on Fox, and they caused quite a bit of a shitstorm for Tucker with regards to Fox. They got a lot of advertisers to pull based on what he said on my radio show a decade earlier, and that caused, I think, some dissension. But I'm like, Tucker, that's not my fault. You were on my show, being yourself, talking about like how Iranian women smelled like camels and, like just outrageous shit, because at that point he wasn't beholden to anybody. He didn't have to really watch so he would say like, I hate, I live in Maine and I hate Canadians, and if all Canadians would, that would be cool. Just, crazy shit.
Oh my God.
And they used that against him, and they got like Mercedes and some big companies to pull their advertising based on his appearance on my show. And I think that Tucker still holds that against me, and I didn't have anything to do with that. So
I don't know. I don't understand some of the drama between some of these OG talk show guys. I mean, some of them fucking figured out the new media YouTube landscape and just fucking hit a home run with it, like Tucker. Like as soon as he left Fox, he went on YouTube and just blew up.
I mean, he's just killing it,
crushing it, man.
But why would you forget about your buddy?
I don't know.
Why would you forget about your buddy that when you weren't shit, when you weren't even on NBC, you still had Tucker. Your buddy still had Tucker Tuesdays. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand it either, man.
I mean,
Tucker's
you're my
guy.
friend. Why do people hate me, Danny?
I don't know why people hate you, Bubba. I don't know. I wish I knew the answer. I don't think Rogan hates you. I think Rogan loves you.
I think Joe likes me too.
He loves everybody, man. He's the type of dude he's not like that. He's the type of guy who likes to share everything.
Yeah,
he likes to help boost people up.
Well, and I've never, oh my God, I've never said an ill word towards him. In fact, I've borderline worshipped him just based on how well he's done and how he's become the new it factor, and he's been the it factor for a long time.
Yeah,
I mean, and you know what? It's only going to go away when he decides to wrap it up.
Right.
It's
and how long? If
and,
you're him, how long do you even want to do it for?
I think for Joe, I think Joe's going to want to do it for a long time because Joe's so good at it.
Yeah.
And he's such a conversationalist, and he's got such a great compound that he can do it on his terms.
Yeah.
And you can hand select. You're not ever hurting for guests because you are the absolute pinnacle of getting on the Joe Rogan show, and is the absolute pinnacle of media. So I think Joe does it. Maybe Joe will scale back a little bit, maybe as he gets older, he's like, hey, I only want to do, twice a week or once a week, or, I think he'll scale back before he quits. I think he loves it too much.
Yeah. I feel like he treats the podcast as like a warm up for his comedy.
Yeah. I think they intertwine.
They definitely do.
They definitely intertwine, and he can try new stuff out. On the road, and he's right there in Austin. I think he's got his own joint now, doesn't he? He's got his own joint. So he's kind of made this Joe Rogan bubble
universe.
This Joe Rogan universe bubble that he's got everything. He's got a perfect setup. Like
man.
Nobody ever will get to that status.
No.
I don't think.
No,
until
I don't think so
he
either.
leaves, and at that point you're just a Joe Rogan ripoff.
Well, I think whoever, I don't think, even if somebody is able to come up with the same amount of talent that he has, I don't think still anyone will ever be able to achieve what he did in media just because of the timing.
No,
he had the perfect timing.
He had the perfect timing, and he's got the perfect setup. And let's not take the talent away from the fact that anybody can get the setup, but you got to be talented, and you got to be quick on your feet, and you got to have the infrastructure, and you got to. I mean, he didn't just didn't all come to him. I mean, don't forget it wasn't too far removed from being on Fear Factor, which I'm sure he cringes at times. Like, oh my God, I fucking Fear Factor. Oh shit, God, I look like a. Well, when I'm sure Joe sometimes cringes
getting people to drink bull semen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sure he cringes at some of that early shit, but I mean, nobody, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity Howard gave me, but he has completely surpassed Howard.
Yeah,
and
Howard doesn't like he talks shit about Joe and podcasting all the time.
And I don't understand why Howard wouldn't give Joe his flowers, because Joe has earned them.
Yeah,
the reason why is because Joe surpassed him.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the way it is.
And Joe and Howard's gone like super like lefty woke.
Oh,
too.
Joe. I mean, Howard. Yeah, he's and Joe's not. Joe's still that American dude that's doing kettlebells, that's fucking shooting his bow and arrow, that's looking for moose meat and all the. I mean, Joe's still a dude that would get, if he knew how to run an excavator, he would.
Yeah.
Howard is so far removed from the average man, and the average dock worker, longshoreman back in the day used to like Howard. Now they like Joe.
Yeah.
Joe is the new it factor. And I don't see it going away until he quits.
I agree.
And I don't ever see it being emulated to the way Joe's doing it.
Right. Well, Bubba, this has been fucking
Danny,
amazing. Thank you for coming in, dude. And thank you for letting me watch your documentary early with the early release.
Thank you for pushing it. And don't forget it comes out today.
Okay, Video Killed the Radio Star on Apple. Where else is it available?
Apple, Google Play, and Amazon.
Hell yeah.
Man, my wife was hot, wasn't she?
I mean, smoking. Send me the links. I will put the links down below so people can find
I appreciate
the documentary and download it. And anything else we should tell people about your show, where to listen to you, where to tune in every day?
We're on YouTube like you guys are. We just hit 135,000 subscribers, which is a lot for us.
Amazing.
You probably remember those days. Dude, can you remember when you were at 135 and you thought you were all that, bitch?
Yeah, I remember.
That's where I'm at, and I'm not all that.
It starts snowballing. It starts picking up speed.
Does it really?
Before you know it, you're at 1 million.
No, yeah, please. I couldn't even.
Look at that.
I mean, I got some good stuff, and how fast did it take you to get to 1 million?
A long time. I think I really started
like, when does gasoline start getting poured on it? Like if I'm at 135 now, and the average.
Well, for me, the problem with it for me is I started doing I was doing documentary stuff first, and then I started doing the podcast. I didn't start doing the podcast until like 2019, but we were only doing like one or two podcasts a month.
Well, that's it.
And that's it.
And you were with that one
slow.
dude for a while.
Once we started doing one a week, then it started to pick up more, and now that we're doing 2 a week, it's fucking going crazy. So I think it's a lot about like the more you do, the faster it grows.
Well, see, we do every one of our daily shows up there, and our daily shows are now getting like.
Look, you got the good thumbnails. You guys got
I got a guy, my new guy, really, and then he'll take each show and make reels.
Clips out of it. Yeah,
little minute, 57-second reels. Listen to this. I did hit it out. Don't laugh at me, because I'm way lower. I'm way low on the fucking digital pecking scale than you are. I couldn't be a pimple on your ass. And I'm very, as much as you used to listen to me back in the day, I'm honored and to call you a friend. And I was just telling Concrete Clem here when you were pissing. I go, I'm fucking proud of that kid. Didn't I?
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
I said I am proud of that kid. He is fucking killing it. But because I'm a little bit older, we also aggregate some of our stuff on Facebook too. So, every clip that we make, we figure we might as well put across all, we're on Rumble, so if we make a clip, a 57-second clip, it'll go on Insta, it'll go on TikTok, it'll go on Facebook, it'll go on YouTube, it'll go everywhere.
And you guys clip them out and put them out like instantly, the same day you record.
Oh yeah, like by the time the show's over, the first hour clips are done.
That's crazy.
So we're getting them out, but we hit an out, and don't laugh at me, okay? But we hit on Facebook, we hit a reel that did 91 million views.
Damn! Holy shit!
And I mean, now is that? I mean, and it made like that clip made like 12 grand.
Hell yeah.
What?
Yes.
How long was it?
57 seconds.
Oh my god!
And it was about me talking. It was just like it wasn't. I don't know if it was just hashtag right. But it obviously got put up on people's recommendation pages.
Mm-hmm.
But we did 91.4 million views.
Wow. Which clip was that?
And it was just a clip about. It was about the cost of Super Bowl commercial ads, and it was just something real.
Before
And
we
I
start
think
this
we hit a
podcast,
Super
I just
Bowl
wanna say
gimmick or
thank
something
you
like
to all
that.
the new subscribers.
And I think that's pretty good.
That's
Fuck
really
yeah.
good.
I mean, I think that's
I don't think I've ever gotten that many views on a clip.
so. And we've gotten several clips that have done. Oh hell, I think that Brooke Hogan clip right there has done on Facebook 465,000 views.
Wow.
So I mean,
And you're on TikTok and all that stuff.
everything's at the Bubba Army. Everything is at the Bubba Army, but TikTok doesn't pay shit.
No.
You do TikTok?
Yeah, we do the TikTok, but I don't pay attention to it.
But do you make that? I mean, you
I don't think
probably
so.
don't make no. And Rumble doesn't really pay that
Yeah.
well. You got YouTube,
Yeah.
and oddly enough, Danny, you're probably a little too young for it, but Facebook pays pretty good.
Does it really?
Yes, Facebook.
We just
pays
actually
pretty
started working with this company that's going to start posting our clips on Facebook because we never touch Facebook.
good. You listen. You could easily be pulling down an extra. This is probably short money for you, but you could probably you could probably pull down an extra 5,000 to 7,000 a month on Facebook if you start clipping
Make
it.
a note of it. I got to hit up.
You
I gotta
really
talk
gotta
to him.
do that, Danny.
I got to email that guy.
That's your upper demos. I mean,
Yeah.
and these 45 plus people are looking for good content because there's so much shitty stuff out there.
Yeah.
So when everything that you do, Danny, you should clip up and distribute across the platforms that are going to pay you the most.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
I mean, I know
We're
you
gonna get on Facebook
you
soon.
put all your eggs in the YouTube basket, but there's a couple other baskets out there that could get you some flowers.
We've been blowing up on Spotify lately. Like,
Yeah.
our Spotify numbers have been like equal or more than our YouTube
And they pay.
numbers.
That go through Songcast.
Well, no, our Spotify thing goes through Megaphone, this company called Megaphone, and it's the same company. So we have we had this company that sells our advertising, like
Right.
our read ads that we do,
Right.
And they also collect all my Spotify money,
Right.
And then they cut me a check. So I'm not sure exactly what the Spotify specific money is,
But I mean, you could get a bag from Facebook. You could get a
yeah, I'm
decent
sure.
little.
I've heard.
I mean,
Matt Cox is all over the Facebook stuff.
Oh, and I bet you, I'd be willing to say that Matt Cox's Facebook money is
Fucking good.
20.
I call it Matt Cox once a week. I'm like, bro, tell me what you're doing. I need to learn. He teaches me stuff all the time about this stuff.
The guys,
Fucking
like I said
unreal.
earlier, I know he's got heat with me. Or
He
at
doesn't
least-
have heat with you. He
but
loves you.
I love him.
He thinks you don't like him.
Will you make sure you rectify that?
I'll
Play in
I'll-
that clip because
I'll-
I mean,
I'll build the bridge back.
Matt Cox, I love you,
We
brother.
love you, Matt.
Let's do some shit together.
All
my
right,
friend.
brother. Thanks for coming, brother.
Thank you, Danny.
We'll link everything below. Video Killed the Radio Star out now. Go
Yep.
get it.
Thank you, Danny.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Cement Clem.
Yeah, man.
Concrete Clem.